Okay, we are live. Just sending a message. So, oh my god. I have been taking a break from talking about stuff just because it has been brutal, but I feel like we need to go over all of the crap that Donald Trump has done. So, I'm on the official whitehouse.gov page, the presidential actions, and I have not been talking about this, but I've had a lot of thoughts about this, and I've been kind of keeping them all bottled up. So hopefully we can get this show on the road. So he comes into office. What day did he come into office? On the 20th, and it's been 9 days since then. Oh, additional measures to combat anti-Semitism. Hey, thanks for stopping by, Maddie. Okay, let's just start off at the beginning, man. This has been so wild. Basically, I've been thinking about the best way to cover what Donald Trump is doing, and he's just been doing so much crap. So, how many pages of content? How many pages is this of presidential actions he's done? It's like 15 things per page with 8 pages in a week. So that's like 140 actions that he's done, and each one has just been worse than the last. So I think there's a few different ways we can look at it. The first way we can look at it is, I guess there's two like main things Donald Trump is doing with all of these presidential actions. He is making life easier for his oligarchy buddies, and the main way he's doing that is by kind of dismantling the regulatory state that is kind of putting the reins on these oligarchs and reining in their business, trying to like control them and punish them for just destroying the country, like treating their workers like slaves, treating the places that of business that they're in as their own kind of personal playgrounds with pollution, and just not really caring at all about their employees or the people that they're harming at all. Like breaking up monopolies. Trump's getting rid of all of that regulatory stuff, and that's really going to help the big businesses. And one thing that I was thinking of is it's kind of like the federal government is, it's almost like the federal government is kind of like a parent, right? It is supposed to help people out. It's supposed to be kind of the last line of defense and provide a social safety network for its citizens. And you kind of have this like inherent social contract where I'm going to pay taxes to the federal government, and then the federal government is going to give me resources in return for those taxes. And they are there to kind of look out for my best interests. So I kind of view like the federal government's role in a perfect world as kind of like a guardian figure. It's supposed to be looking out for its citizens, because what is a government? What is a country without its citizens? But Donald Trump is completely just like dismantling that kind of parental service-oriented role that the government is doing. And what you have left is really these oligarchs. You really have these big business and corporations that are controlling every other aspect of your life. So when you can no longer rely on insurance for the government and you can no longer rely on Medicaid, you are now more reliant on your employer for health insurance. And it's kind of the same thing with like school lunches and the government ensuring you have paid time off. When you take away social services that the government is giving you, that is giving your employers more power, and thus it's making your employers wealthier. It's putting them in a better position in society, because now you are less reliant on the government, you are more reliant on your employers, thus you are going to be less likely to quit your job or even like shop around, not use the services of these companies if their like monopoly status is institutionalized by the government. Like, it's almost like Donald Trump is trying his best to replace the government with these oligarchical companies. So I think that's like the first step that he's doing. That's one half of what Donald Trump is doing. He is basically destroying the government, and in the same breath as he destroys the government, he is empowering his oligarchy buddies. The second thing Donald Trump is doing is placating his white supremacist voting base. And that has a lot to do with more of the like racist and kind of cruel policies that Donald Trump is doing. And honestly, you don't really need to look into it any deeper than that. With the whole mass deportation of immigrants, that is purely a racist policy. That is almost like that is simply designed to allow his supporters to get that kind of feeling of, yeah, I like seeing brown people being put in their place, right? When you are seeing, and probably go full screen, but when you are seeing like brown people getting rounded up in your streets, or you are seeing footage of like violent criminals that are getting put onto planes and flown back to Brazil or flown to Colombia, and you are seeing kind of like these brown countries like Colombia, like Brazil, like Mexico being forced by the strong white man Donald Trump to accept these immigrants. That's kind of giving that like rush of endorphins, like, yes, I'm winning, to the Trump supporters. So that is kind of just throwing red meat to the base. So he is simultaneously appeasing his donors while also appeasing his core base of support. That being said, it's not making life better for anyone. Like, it's definitely making life worse for everyone involved. But those are the two things, those are the two themes you need to keep into your mind when you are analyzing everything that Donald Trump is doing. And I think it's going to make that analysis a lot easier for you if you just keep in mind he is A, making life better for his oligarch buddies, and B, getting his racist white supremacist voters off by just doing cruel and bigoted actions against minority groups. Hey, thanks for watching. Ice that don't heat. Cool username. Okay, so let's see how many of these presidential actions we can actually get through today. It's going to be a lot. And then as a reward, if you guys stick through all of these presidential dramas, we have like a content nuke update from the Ethan Klein thing. So I'm going to like get to that, but oh man, I need to go through these things just for myself. So first thing he does on January 20th, 2025, President Trump announces cabinet and cabinet level appointments. So let's just take a look. And I'm not going to know all of these people. So these are just his cabinet appointments. And I'm sure, let's just see. Donald Trump's cabinet. Donald Trump cabinet. All right, let's just see his cabinet picks. And okay, let's go to The Guardian. Tracking Trump cabinet confirmation so far. Donald Trump's picks for top posts in his administration have tested the loyalty of Senate Republicans. Okay, so Marco Rubio, John Ratcliffe. So we know all of these ones. Are these actually... I mean, these, I guess... He just picks these ones? Okay. So that's his cabinet there. Now we have the President Trump announces sub-cabinet appointments. Oh, so these are just cabinet level appointments. President Trump announces acting cabinet and cabinet level positions. President Trump designates chairman and acting chairman. Are these... Where does he actually nominate the people that are going in front of the Senate approval committees? The puppy killer? Oh God, did he actually pick her? Kirsty Noem. The Homeland Security. Oh yeah, she's gonna make sure our homeland's very secure. Okay. So Mark Rubio. I still can't believe that the Democrats voted for Marco Rubio as Secretary of State. John Ratcliffe, Pete Hegseth, and Kirsty Noem have also secured confirmation, with Hegseth requiring Vice President J.D. Vance to cast a tie-breaking vote. Wait, so did some Republicans not vote for him? He was confirmed in a late-night vote on the 24th of January with a tie-breaking vote from J.D. Vance. What were the votes? I guess it doesn't really matter. but I think it would be interesting. Pete Hegseth confirmation votes. All right, what do we got here? (53-47) majority vote in the Senate. Could only lose one more objection after Murkowski and Collins already announced they would vote no. God, Pete Hegseth is like, all of these people are crazy. I guess one more thing that you can think of is Donald Trump. Like, let's add a third rail to kind of the three different cores of Donald Trump's policies. So it's throwing red meat to his base, it is empowering his oligarch buddies, and it's also empowering him. So if he can strip away the government, that also not only empowers the oligarchs, who are kind of going to be there to pick up the slack, in the sense that now you are more reliant on your employers. Now the oligarchs have more unchecked power because the government that was checking their power no longer exists. He is also empowering himself if he can strip away other parts of the government that have power, like basically defanging Congress, defanging the Supreme Court, ignoring the Constitution, passing blatantly unconstitutional laws. That, all of that, you might be like, why is he just passing things that are illegal? It's because the more things he does that's illegal, the more he degrades the power of law and thus empowers himself. So President Trump is basically a dictator and really looking out for his oligarchy cronies. Flying the flag. Okay, so now we get into the stupid stuff. So that was just nominating cabinet positions. Flying the flag of the United States at full staff on Inauguration Day. This is so dumb. So this was because Jimmy Carter died and the flags were at half staff on his Inauguration Day, and he got so pissed off. By the authority vested in me by the Constitution and the laws of the United States. Okay, well, we don't really need to read this, but I also direct that for the same period of time, the flag shall be flown at full staff at all United States embassies, legislations, consular offices, and other facilities abroad, including all military facilities. Why would he even write this, though? Like, it's so dumb. I get, like, this is on, like, even though this is so stupid, it's actually kind of concerning, because it makes me feel like he's expecting to get inaugurated again. Like, he's expecting for this second or third term to actually go through. Hey, if you stick around until the end, I'll be covering the content nuke. But we got to get through the meat and potatoes of this first, which is just Donald Trump's insanity. Initial rescissions of harmful executive orders and actions. By the authority vested in me and the laws of the U.S., it is hereby ordered as follows. Section 1, purpose and policy. The previous administration has embedded deeply unpopular, inflationary, illegal, and radical practices. The injection of DEI into our institutions has corrupted them by replacing hard work, merit, and equality with a divisive and dangerous preferential hierarchy. So all of this is straight up Project 2025. Orders to open the borders have endangered the American people and dissolved federal, state, and local resources that should be used to benefit the American people. Orders to open the borders have endangered the... What the fuck? Orders to open the borders? Dude, the border crossings were like at a 3-year low when Donald Trump took office. Climate extremism has exploded inflation and... So just regulating the amount of CO2 that companies are producing is climate extremism. To commence the policies that will make our nation united, fair, and safe and prosperous again. It is the policy of the U.S. to restore common sense to the federal government. Oh, common sense, of course. And unleash the potential of the American citizen. So is he going to fund education more? The revocations within this order will be the first of many steps the U.S. federal government will take to repair our institutions and economy. Revocation of orders and actions. The following executive actions are hereby revoked. Executive order advancing racial equity and support for underserved communities through the federal government. Yes, because any advancement of like, dude, you can't make this stuff up. He's saying that like the injection of DEI into our institutions has corrupted them by replacing hard work. But it's like, yeah, you're trying to advance racial equity and support for underserved communities. So that's not even DEI. You're just trying to get them to the level so that all communities are served equally. And he's like, no, we're revoking that. Ensuring a lawful and accurate enumeration and apportionment pursuant to the decennial census. So I guess he's just trying to make sure that the census is correct. And Donald Trump's like, no, I don't care about the census. Once again, information is not on the Republican sides. Conservatives hate the truth, and so they are going to try to mask the truth as much as possible, whether that is defunding the census or like causing the FDA and the CDC to not put out public statements anymore because they simply don't want the truth out there. Like Donald Trump famously said, if we don't count COVID, we're not going to have cases of COVID. Content Nuke, oh my god, guys. Content Nuke is scheduled to come out tomorrow. Organizing and mobilizing the U.S. government to provide a unified and effective response to combat COVID-19, oh my god, and to provide United States leadership on global health and security. So, yeah, making America great again, right? By dismantling our leadership on global health and security. Preventing and combating discrimination on the basis of gender. Why? Why is this something that he wants to get rid of? Oh yeah, we're trying to prevent discrimination on the basis of gender identity or sexual orientation. He's like, no, the transes, the gays, we don't like them, folks. We don't like them. Ethics commitments by executive branch personnel. Yes. Oh my God, this is also hilarious. I kind of want to look this up, but basically it's like, yeah, you can take bribes. My cabinet members can take bribes. And I really have to shout out, honestly, guys, Kyle Kulinski and Vosh have both been doing a great job of like covering everything Donald Trump is doing. Let's take a look at what this is. Officially titled Ethic Commitments by Executive Branch Personnel, was signed on January 20th, 2021. It's a fifth executive order signed by U.S. President Joe Biden. The order works to guarantee that the executive branch makes ethical commitments. It was rescinded by Donald Trump within hours. Like, once again, you cannot parody this because Donald Trump is just so corrupt, such an evil bastard. He gets into office. Within hours of getting into office, he rescinds the ethical commitments of his cabinet members. He's like, no, you guys don't need to be. I don't want an ethical cabinet. Once again, he said to Mike Pence when he was trying to get Mike Pence to not certify the election, he's like, you're too honest, Mike. You're too honest. And it's like, yeah, he doesn't want honest cabinet members. The guy's such a piece of shit. Like, he's literally a comic book villain. Like, I feel like we're living in a Superman comic right now with Lex Luthor winning the presidency. And the only one that can see he's evil is Donald Trump. Or not Donald Trump, is Superman. Protecting public health and the environment and restoring science to tackle the climate crisis. Oh my God. How long are these? How many freaking... Like, each one of these is just worse than the last. Okay. Providing for the appointment of alumni of AmeriCorps to the competitive service. Don't know that much. Revocation of national security. Presidential Memorandum 5. Certification of rescission of Cuba's designation as a state sponsor of terrorism. Oh my God. Once again, just like making our foreign policy worse right off the bat. He's basically designated Cuba as a state sponsor of terrorism once again. And Biden removed it as a designated state sponsor of terrorism. Withdrawal of certain areas of the United States outer continental shelf from oil or natural gas leasing. Okay, withdrawal of certain areas. Okay, so I guess it's did it twice. Designation of officials of the U.S. International Development Finance Corporation to act as chief executive officer. Designation of officials of the U.S. Agency for International Development to act as administrator. So I'm assuming this is just more like dismantling of our regulatory state. Designation of officials on the Council of Environmental Quality. Yeah. Providing an order of succession within the office of the National Cyber Director. Okay, so we can skip these. White House initiative on advancing educational equity, excellence, and economic opportunity through Hispanic serving institutions. Why would we need Hispanic serving institutions when we're deporting all of the illegal immigrants? Jesus Christ. Imposing certain sanctions on persons undermine. Oh, yeah. So Joe Biden imposed sanctions on persons undermining peace, security, and stability in the West Bank. Donald Trump comes in and revokes that executive order immediately. So now you can basically be a terrorist in the Israeli West Bank. And for those of you that are interested in watching me react to some of the more recent Ethan Klein stuff, Ethan Klein has somehow gotten it into his head that Hasan is pro Donald Trump because Hasan said that Donald Trump got this ceasefire done, when that's exactly what happened. Donald Trump said, I want a ceasefire when I get into the presidency, and in return, I'm going to basically legalize terrorism in the West Bank and let you annex the West Bank. He literally legalized terrorism in the West Bank, and Ethan Klein is like, Hasan just loves Donald Trump now. Hasan's so anti-Semitic, he loves Donald Trump and Elon Musk, who's sig-hailing at Donald Trump's inauguration. It's so fucking crazy. Safe, secure, and trustworthy development and use of artificial intelligence. So regulating AI. Biden is regulating AI, and Donald Trump rescinded that. Moving beyond COVID-19 vaccination requirements for federal workers. I'm not sure what that is, just getting rid of COVID-19 requirements. Revitalizing our nation's commitment to environmental justice for all. Basically he's just no, I like when minorities are discriminated against. Oh yeah, they're spending the past years planning out a full-on heist, and that's exactly what we got. Withdrawal of certain areas off the United States Arctic coasts. Yeah, so basically Joe Biden withdrew a bunch of areas to be no longer eligible for mining oil and gas, and Donald Trump tried to remove that. But I heard something about these executive orders where it's more difficult to remove them than a regular executive order. So I don't really know what the deal with that is. But of course, Donald Trump doesn't really care about the actual law. Further advancing racial equity and support for underserved communities through the federal government. Yeah. You once again, you can't make this stuff up. So he's RFK Jr. is now being grilled by the Senate because he's wants to make America healthy again. And we have this continuing to strengthen Americans' access to affordable quality health coverage. And Donald Trump's nah, we don't need to strengthen Americans' access. He's literally just making life worse for everyone. Advancing effective, accountable policing and criminal justice practices to enhance public trust and public safety. No, we don't need the public to be safe. We don't need our policing to be effective. I just want the police to serve me. Advancing equality for lesbian, gay, bisexual, transgender, queer, and intersex individuals. It's just literally the most evil things you can think of. Promoting the arts, the humanities, and museum library services. And he gets rid of that. He doesn't even want to support the arts, dude. Establishing the President's Advisory Council on African Diaspora Engagement. Nah, dude, fuck the Africans. It's so gross. It's literally so fucking gross. Definitely, Donald Trump's making this a white man's America. Improving and expanding access to care. Okay, so I think protecting worker health and safety. Nah, fuck workers. Supporting the reopening and continuing operation of schools and early childhood education. Nah, fuck education. Even though we're trying to unleash. What did they say? They wanted to unleash the potential of the American citizen. We're going to unleash the potential of the American citizen by I guess you're screwed if you're Hispanic, gay, African, trans, a woman. We're going to make it harder for you to get safe and affordable healthcare. We're going to make policing more violent for you. We're going to not care about the economy at all. And we're also going to completely dismantle the regulatory state. And also, if you're an employee, fuck you. We're going to get rid of protections for you. So that's Donald Trump on within hours rescinding all of those. So that was the initial recessions of harmful executive orders and actions, restoring freedom of speech and ending federal censorship. Let's take a look at what this is. Okay. The First Amendment, okay, we don't need to read all of this. Ensure that no federal government officer, employer, or agent engages in or facilitates any conduct that would unconstitutionally abridge the free speech of any American citizen. Ensure that no taxpayer resources are used to engage in or facilitate any conduct that would unconstitutionally abridge the free speech of. I mean, this is just a virtue signal. Like, it doesn't actually do anything. Ending the weaponization of the federal government. Yeah. Also, if you enjoy the arts, you're screwed. All right. What is it going to do to end the weaponization of the federal government? The Attorney General, in consultation with the heads of all departments and agencies of the U.S., shall take appropriate action to review the activities of all departments and agencies exercising civil or criminal enforcement authority of the U.S., including, but not limited to, the Department of Justice. Okay. With the recommendations for appropriate remedial actions to be taken to fulfill the purposes and policies of this order. The Director of National Intelligence, in consultation with the heads of the appropriate departments and agencies within the intelligence community, shall take all appropriate action to review the activities of the intelligence community over the last 4 years and identify any instances where the intelligence community's conduct appears to have been contrary to the purposes and policies of this order, and prepare a report to be submitted to the President through the Deputy Chief of Staff or Policy and the National Security Advisor, with recommendations for appropriate remedial action. So basically, he's just ordering an investigation into the FBI and the CIA. So that's hilarious. In the ending the weaponization of the federal government act, or not act, but executive order, he's weaponizing the federal government just against other aspects of the federal government. Return to in-person work. So that's basically like making it worse for federal employees. If you're a federal employee, you have to do in-person work, and a lot of people just can't afford to live in DC or wherever their agency is. And so once again, this is just Donald Trump making the regulatory bodies of this government worse. Regulatory freeze pending review. So what's this? By the authority vested in me as president by the Constitution and the laws of the U.S., he orders all executive departments and agencies to take the following steps. Do not propose or issue any rule in any manner, including by sending a rule to the office of the Federal Register, until a department or agency head appointed or designated by the President after noon on January 20th reviews and approves the rule. The department or agency may delegate this power of review and approval to any other person so appointed or designated by the President. Okay, so they're just basically making it illegal for regulatory bodies to pass new rules on things unless it goes through people that Trump handpicks. Hiring freeze, so that's probably freezing the hiring of regulatory bodies. Delivering emergency price relief for American families and defeating the cost of living crisis. Ooh, this is a big one. Apparently prices of eggs have gone up. Let's see. Price of eggs over time. We don't really have. All right, let's just see. Egg prices are soaring. Don't expect that to change anytime soon. Let's just see what the AP News has about this. So in Omaha, Nebraska, bird flu is forcing farmers to slaughter millions of chickens a month, pushing U.S. egg prices to more than double their costs in the summer 2023. Well, I'm so glad Donald Trump dismantled the United States' public health readiness and leadership on the global level. The average price per dozen nationwide hit $4.15 in December. That's not quite as high as the $4.82 record set 2 years ago, but the agriculture department predicts prices are going to soar another 20% this year. Hey, some grocery stores have even limited how many eggs shoppers can buy. What's driving up the prices? So yeah, definitely like the virus. So anyway, yeah, prices of eggs have gone up a lot. Let's see what he's offering for emergency assistance for the cost of living crisis. I hereby order the heads of all executive departments and agencies to deliver emergency price relief consistent with applicable law to the American people. This shall include pursuing appropriate actions to lower the cost of housing and expand housing supply, eliminate the unnecessary administrative expenses and rent-seeking practices that increase healthcare costs, eliminate counterproductive requirements that raise the cost of home appliances, create employment opportunities for American workers, including drawing discouraged workers into the labor force, and eliminate harmful coercive climate policies. Like, this is so crazy. So some of these are fine, right? Lower the cost of housing by expanding the housing supply. That's fine. But what's he going to do with that? It's not like we're going to build more low-income housing where it's needed. He's going to basically destroy our national parks and other land set aside for kind of environmental purposes, and then build houses there. When it says that we're going to create employment opportunities for American workers, including drawing discouraged workers into the labor force, like, that's a good idea. That's what, that's kind of like the New Deal, where you have this federal program to create a ton of jobs and you can build a ton of infrastructure, but that's not what Donald Trump's going to do. It's probably going to be something like union busting and eliminate harmful coercive climate policies that increase the cost of food and fuel. Once again, like, the climate crisis is going to increase the cost of food and fuel. The climate policies that regulate businesses are there for a reason. So this is basically useless. It's just saying, like, guys, make things cheaper. Pretty meaningless. Okay, putting America first in international environmental agreements. So that's probably just withdrawing from the Paris Climate Accords, granting pardons and commutation of sentences for certain offenses relating to the events at or near the United States Capitol on January 6th. Why would you even put that specifically in your executive action? Just say commuting sentences. But yeah, he commuted a bunch of terrorists. So Donald Trump basically building up his own militia. Application of Protecting Americans from Foreign Adversary Controlled Applications Act to TikTok. So what do we got here? The Protecting Americans from Foreign Adversary Controlled Applications Act, the Act, regulates foreign adversary controlled applications, specifically those operated by TikTok and any other subsidiary of its China-based parent company, ByteDance Ltd, on national security grounds. Section 2A of the Act prohibits entities from distributing, maintaining, or updating certain defined foreign adversary controlled applications within the territory of the United States by providing aid services. Okay. I have the unique constitutional responsibility for the national security of the United States, the conduct of foreign policy, and other vital executive functions. To fulfill those responsibilities, I intend to consult with my advisors, including the heads of the relevant departments and agencies on the national security concerns posed by TikTok, and to pursue a resolution that protects national security. Okay, so what are you going to do? Interferes with my ability to assess the national security and foreign policy implications of the Act's prohibitions. Signing also interferes with my ability. Okay, so what are you going to do? So he's just ordering the Attorney General to not take any action on behalf of the U.S. to enforce the Act. This is basically just saying, give me time to negotiate a deal for TikTok. So pretty useless. Withdrawing the United States from the World Health Organization. All right, that's pretty on its face. Yeah, exactly. The whole AI thing is crazy. Also, like, one more thing relating to Ethan Klein, but Ethan Klein is like, oh, Hassan loves China so much, but I don't think China should own TikTok. China is no more evil than the United States is, and you can say that its capacity for evil is a little bit more set in stone than the U.S. is, because the United States, even though our liberal president was still facilitating and funding a genocide, it's at least theoretically possible that someone like Bernie Sanders that wouldn't fund a genocide could get into power in the United States, and then that would be a good thing. But it's like China's no better or worse than the United States is. And I would argue it's slightly better than the United States at this moment, like underneath Donald Trump. So people like fear-mongering over China, like I really don't have any respect for them. Holding former government officials accountable for election interference and improper disclosure of sensitive governmental information. Okay, I'm curious about this. Yeah, it's the same thing. Both of them are like imperial, colonizational countries that are arguably fascist. Like at this point, definitely authoritarian on both countries. Even underneath Biden, United States was authoritarian. But yeah, Donald Trump is like definitely ripping the mask off of American imperialism. Okay, so what is he saying? Section 1, purpose. In the closing weeks, goddamn, I really don't want to read all of this shit. Oh wait. Oh, this is gonna be good. He's talking about Hunter Biden. So, in the closing weeks of the 2020 presidential oh my god, this is still about the 2020 presidential campaign. At least 51 former intelligence officers coordinated with the Biden campaign to issue a letter discrediting the reporting that President Joseph R. Biden's son had abandoned his laptop at a computer repair business. Signatories of the letter falsely suggested that the news story was part of a Russian disinformation campaign. Dude, Donald Trump is so grievance-driven. Like, he's so petty. I said it before, but if Donald Trump just got his own reality TV show and he could like host it and do whatever he wanted to the contestants, I think he would love that. I think that would be like his preferred form of retirement. I think he would leave politics for that, even though like politics is kind of his reality TV show. Before being issued, the letter was sent. Okay, I really don't care. What's the policy? It is the policy of the U.S. to ensure that the intelligence community may not be engaged in partisan politics. All right, who cares? So he's just like reprimanding the intelligence community for helping Biden get revenge porn taken off of Twitter. Declaring a national emergency at the southern border. Oh, this is interesting. So this is where he sends the military to the southern border. So he declares the southern border an emergency, like a national emergency, and he's sending, and that's allowing, and like also an invasion, and so that's allowing him to send in the military. Yeah, so what's the policy? Now, therefore, I, Donald Trump, hereby declare that a national emergency exists at the southern border of the United States. I love how you can just like say it. It's like how Michael Scott in The Office thinks that he can just declare bankruptcy by standing in front of the office and he's like, I declare bankruptcy. It's like, I guess that's how it works if you're the president. Okay, so I declare that this emergency requires the use of the armed forces, of course. He wants to like invade Mexico. In accordance with the Section 301 of the National Emergencies Act that the Construction Authority provided in Section 2808 is invoked and made available according to its terms to the Secretary of Defense. Okay, so additional physical barriers. They're going to take all appropriate action consistent with law, including blah, 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 to construct additional physical barriers along the southern border. To the extent possible, the Secretaries of Defense and Homeland Security shall coordinate with any governor of a state that is willing to assist with the deployment of any physical infrastructure to improve operational security. Unmanned aerial systems. Wow, so he's going to start drone striking illegal immigrants. The Secretary of Transportation and the Federal Communications Commission shall consider waiving all applicable Federal Aviation Administration and Federal Communications Commission regulations or policies, respectively, that restrict the Department of Homeland Security's ability to counter unmanned aerial systems within 5 miles of the southern border. Revision of policies and strategies. Okay, revocation with reporting requirement. Within 30 days of the date of this proclamation, the Secretary of Defense shall submit to the President through the Homeland Security Advisor reporting outlining all actions taken to fulfill the requirements. Okay, so what what I'm a little worried about is like he's no longer really talking about building a wall. So I think he's like this buildup of the military on the Mexican border. I think that is kind of like a prelude to actually invading Mexico. Like I know conservatives want to invade Mexico, but I really would not be surprised at this point. Okay, what else? Where were we? So withdrawing from the WHO, influencing positions within the federal workforce, holding former government officials accountable, declaring a national emergency at the southern border, memorandum to resolve the backlog of security clearances for executive office of the president personnel. Okay, I don't really care about that. America First trade policy. Does this actually have anything interesting? In 2017, my administration pursued trade and economic policies. Okay, so what's your policy? So it's just going to rework. We're going to investigate the feasibility of establishing and recommend the best methods for designing, building, and implementing an external revenue service. Oh yeah, he wants to design an external revenue service. The United States Trade Representative, in consultation with the Secretary, shall undertake a review of and identify any unfair trade. So this is just him reserving the right to kind of renegotiate any trade deals. Yeah, economic and trade relations with China, the United States Trade Representative shall review. Okay, so he's just reviewing all of these trade deals. That's not the craziest thing in the world. Clarifying the military's role in protecting the territorial integrity of the United States. This might be a little bit. Oh yeah, this is actually fucked up. So, purpose. As chief executive and as commander-in-chief of the armed forces of the U.S., I have no more solemn responsibility than protecting the sovereignty and territorial integrity of the U.S. along our national borders. The protection of a nation's territorial integrity and national boundaries is paramount for its security. The armed forces of the United States have played a long and well-established role in securing our borders against threats of invasion, against unlawful forays by foreign nationals into the U.S., and against other transnational criminal activities that violate our laws and threaten the peace, harmony, and tranquility of the nation. These threats have taken a variety of forms over our nation's history. Okay, so policy. Here we go. It is a policy of the United States to ensure that the armed forces of the U.S. prioritize the protection of the sovereignty and territorial integrity no later than 10 days from the effective date of this order, delivered to the President a revision of the Unified Command Plan that assigns U.S. Northern Command the mission to seal the borders and maintain the sovereignty, territorial integrity, and security of the U.S. by repelling forms of invasion, including unlawful mass migration, narcotics trafficking, human smuggling and trafficking, and other criminal activities. So he's basically opening up the scope of the military to start targeting like smuggling, trafficking, mass migration, and other criminal activities. So now we're going to have the military in our streets taking people out for their criminal activities. On the effective date of this order, add the following requirements to the contingency planning guidance. A level 3 planning requirement, territorial integrity. So I guess that's just his like military speak for securing the border. The security of the United States by repelling forms of invasion. Campaign planning requirement for the U.S. Northern, U.S. Northern Command to provide steady state southern border security, seal the border, maintain the sovereignty, territorial integrity. Okay, we just read this. Continuous assessments of all available options to protect the sovereign territory of the U.S. from mass unlawful entry and impingement on our national sovereignty and security by foreign nations and transnational criminal organizations. I like the implication that refugees seeking refuge in the U.S. is an impingement on our national sovereignty. Once again, this is very white supremacist. Unleashing American energy, so that's just like drilling more. Realigning the United States Refugee Admissions Program. Did you do anything interesting with that? Oh, God. It is the policy of the U.S. to ensure that public safety and national security are paramount considerations in the administration of the U.S. RAP. and to admit only those refugees who can fully and appropriately assimilate into the U.S. and to ensure that the U.S. preserves taxpayer resources for its citizens. It is also the policy of the U.S. that to the extent permitted by law and as practicable, state and local jurisdictions be granted a role in the process of determining the placement or settlement in their jurisdictions of aliens eligible to be admitted to the United States as refugees. Entry into the United States of refugees under would be detrimental to the interests of the U.S. I therefore direct that entry into the United States of refugees be suspended, subject to the exceptions set forth in subsection C. Okay, what are the exceptions? Notwithstanding the suspension of the USRIP imposed pursuant to subsections A and B of this section, the Secretary of State of the Secretary of Homeland Security may jointly determine to admit aliens to the U.S. as refugees on a case-by-case basis, in their discretion, but only so long as they determine that the entry of such aliens as refugees is in the national interest and does not pose a threat to the security or the welfare of the United States. So once again, this is basically banning brown refugees, but allowing white ones to come in. All right, we're like about a third of the way done. Protecting the meaning and value of American citizenship, securing our borders, putting people over fish, stopping radical environmentalism to provide water to Southern California. All right, I don't know if I can go in depth into all of these. There's just so much. Restoring the death penalty and protecting public safety. Oh my God. Yeah, because the death penalty protects people, man. Oh, Jesus. Promoting a beautiful federal civic architecture. Yeah, and you're defunding the arts. Restoring accountability for career senior executives. Declaring a national energy emergency. Temporary withdrawal of all areas on the outer continental shelf from offshore wind leasing. Reevaluating and realigning U.S. foreign aid. Organization of the National Security Council and subcommittees. The Organization for Economic Cooperation and Development, protecting the American people against invasion, unleashing Alaska's extraordinary resource potential, protecting the United States from foreign terrorists and other national security and public safety threats. Okay, so this one, let's read this one and then we'll take a break from this. Protecting the United States from foreign territories, from foreign terrorists. So, to protect Americans, the U.S. must be vigilant. Oh, God. Yeah, their little blurb is so annoying. So, the Secretary of State, in coordination with the Attorney General, the Secretary of Homeland Security, and the Director of National Intelligence, shall promptly identify all resources that may be used to ensure that all aliens seeking admission to the U.S. or who are already in the U.S. are vetted and screened to the maximum degree possible. Determine the information needed from any country. So this is just like more vetting of immigrants. Identifying how many nationals from those countries have entered or have been admitted into the U.S. on or since January 20th, 2021. Whenever information is identified that would support the exclusion or removal of any alien in subsection 2B, the Secretary. Ensure that sufficient safeguards are in place to prevent any refugee or stateless individual from being admitted to the U.S. without undergoing stringent identification verification. Evaluate all visa programs to ensure that they are not used by foreign nation states. I don't really understand it. Why? I don't understand why people like Donald Trump are so afraid of immigrants. Like, what? Even if you're a foreign national, and even if you believe in Colombia or you believe in Mexico, and you're like, oh, I'm gonna take down the United States. What are you gonna do? There's already millions of people living in the U.S. that hate the United States and would want Donald Trump to not be president anymore in Minecraft. Yeah, there are lots of parallels to the Nazi rise. It's definitely concerning, and the complete breakdown of our regulatory state and the really expansionist rhetoric that we're getting from Donald Trump, like since he's been president, is very reminiscent for what we got. Also, just scapegoating minority figures, like Hitler didn't want to do concentration camps immediately. He did want to deport the Jews, but he found it easier to do concentration camps against the Jews. Now, granted, I don't think that. I think the one thing that Hitler had that Donald Trump doesn't have right now is he had kind of his paramilitary militia thugs going around and kind of causing general chaos. Donald Trump doesn't really have that yet, although he did just, take the first step in doing that by pardoning all of his rioters, basically like creating a little terrorist army for himself. But we'll see if they do anything. And that is something that I've been thinking about also. It's like, I don't think it would be a bad idea if you are a outwardly progressive person, let's say, and you live in a progressive neighborhood. I don't think it would be a bad idea to reach out, get to know your neighbors, and get on the same page with them. Because especially if you are living in a liberal area and an area that gets a lot of attention from people like libs of TikTok or Bill Riley, who are famous for getting people harassed and killed due to their rhetoric and aiming a spotlight at people. If you are living in a liberal city like New York or Chicago, where you think it could be the target of right-wing animus and right-wing militias, like getting super pissed off and being like, oh, these sanctuary cities, we're going to go in and show them, and we're going to like grab all the brown people ourselves and get the brown people out of there. Might not be a bad idea to get to know your neighbors, kind of network out a little bit. Take some lessons in self-defense. Just saying. But so yeah, that's kind of where we're at. This is Donald Trump just making it a rich white guy's world. And that's literally not even the half of it. I guess, all right, let's just finish this section off. So the issue is I'm not really doing all of these justice, but let's just read through the last 3 pages of this. Strengthening American leadership in digital financial technology. Wow, that's great. Making it easier for financial capitalists to just make money off of doing nothing. Federal recognition of the Lumbee tribe of North Carolina. That actually seems kind of good. Executive grant of clemency for Terrence Sutton. I think that's actually not a bad thing either. Terrence Sutton, 2 MPD officers sentenced for 2020 murder of... he pardons the DC officers convicted in death and cover-up. Full and unconditional pardon to Washington, D.C. Police Lieutenant Andrew Zabowski and Officer Terrence Sutton for their roles in the death of 20-year-old Karen Houghton Brown. Okay, maybe this is bad then. Prosecutors argued that in October 2020, Sutton and Zabowski of the Metropolitan Police Department spotted Houghton Brown driving a moped, helmetless, and pursued him at unreasonable speeds until he was eventually struck and killed by an uninvolved motorist. Okay, that's not good then. I take it back. Designation of Ansar Allah as a foreign terrorist organization. Great. So pro-peace. Executive grant of clemency for Andrew Zabowski. Also not good. Nominations transmitted to the Senate. Ending illegal discrimination and restoring merit-based opportunity. So a shout out Majority Report on this, but basically with the whole DEI thing, like DEI isn't actually the law, but what is the law is enforcing the Civil Rights Act. And if you are repealing DEI without any other idea on how to properly enforce the Civil Rights Act, then that is illegal. So basically, when Donald Trump is like railing against DEI and he's trying to get rid of all of these protections for minority groups, that is unconstitutional. Keeping Americans safe in aviation, guaranteeing the state's protection against invasion. Restoring names that honor American greatness. It's fucking stupid. The Iron Dome for America, also stupid. The National Day of Remembrance of the 80th anniversary of the liberation of Auschwitz. Memorandum for the Secretary of State, the Secretary of Defense, the Secretary of Health and Human Services, the Administrator of the United States for International Development. Enforcing the Hyde Amendment. What is the Hyde Amendment? Just going to take a look at this. They enacted the Hyde Amendment and similar laws that prevent federal funding of elective abortion. Oh, okay, so that it prevents federal funding of elective abortion. Yeah, like, abortion is not ever... Like, what are we saying? Elective abortion. Stupid. Like, oh yeah, I'm getting elective brain surgery. Like, sure, I'd die if I don't get brain surgery, but it's elective because I have a choice. The first 100 hours historic action to kick off America's golden age, removing barriers to American leadership in AI, President's Council of Advisors on Science and Technology, declassification of records concerning the assassinations of President JFK. All right, and then we're almost done. Additional measures to combat anti-Semitism. Donald Trump Jr. signed S.5 into law. Oh, wait. What am I doing? President Donald J. Trump signed S.5 into law, expanding Migrant Operations Center and Naval Situation, celebrating America's 205th birthday, ending radical indoctrination in K-12 schooling, expanding educational freedom and opportunities for families. Oh, yeah, so this is just attacking the school system right now. So having, like, private schools and just basically, like, undermining people's education in public schools. Protecting children from chemical and surgical mutilation, so anti-trans stuff. Reinstating service members discharged under the military's COVID-19 vaccination mandate. Wow. Honestly, they're probably all dead. Restoring America's fighting force. God. Yes, thank you, Donald Trump. We had no fighting force before you. Prioritizing military excellence and readiness. It's probably being like, oh yeah, anti-woke stuff. Okay, so let's just take a look at the additional measures to combat anti-Semitism. Yeah, Donald Trump does not enjoy the Civil Rights Act. It shall be the policy of the United States to combat anti-Semitism vigorously using all available... So this is so dumb, dude. It's so dumb. It's like every single minority group you can possibly think of. I'm surprised he doesn't have anti-Italian stuff where he's like, oh yeah, and now it's legal to dress up as a chef and twirl your mustache while cooking spaghetti now. I'm surprised he doesn't have that shit. Every single minority group you can think of, he's like, nah, we don't want to offer you protections anymore. You're on your own. Oh, Biden passed an executive order saying it's illegal to discriminate against women. Well, I got rid of it. We're allocating $10 million to Hispanic heritage sites across the country. Nah, they don't need it. But for the anti-Semitism, we're going to dedicate our America to vigorously fight against anti-Semitism. Obviously, it's not that the Jews control the world. It's that AIPAC is a foreign interest of Donald Trump and the military-industrial complex. And Donald Trump has a vested interest in keeping Israel a popular venture for the United States. That's why. It has nothing to do with Jews. It has everything to do with American imperialism. And I'm sure we're going to see now that criticism of Israel is something that is going to now be anti-Semitic in Donald Trump's executive order. So we're going to prosecute, remove, or otherwise hold to account the perpetrators of unlawful anti-Semitic harassment and violence. So what do we get here? We say that Donald Trump is going to remove perpetrators of anti-Semitic harassment. So basically, if you are a college kid in a anti-Israel protest, you are going to be deported if you are not an American citizen. Yeah, I mean, there's also the whole, like, fascist Christian belief that you must have a Jewish state in the spawn point of zombie Jesus. So within 60 days, here we go. So within 60 days of the date of this order, the head of each executive department or agency shall submit a report to the president through the assistant to the president for domestic policy, identifying all civil and criminal authorities or actions within the jurisdiction of that agency, beyond those already implemented under Executive Order 13899, that might be used to curb or combat anti-Semitism, and containing an inventory and analysis of all pending administrative complaints as of the date of the report against or involving institutions of higher education alleging civil rights violations relating to or arising from post-October 7th, 2023 campus anti-Semitism. That's crazy. So he's literally saying, like, make a list of complaints due to activism against, like, October 7th. So, like, pretty, not even hiding it, right? He's specifically mentioning October 7th campus anti-Semitism. The report submitted by the Attorney General under this section shall additionally include an inventory and an analysis of all court cases as of the date of the report against or involving institutions of higher education alleging civil rights violations relating to or arising from post-October 7th, 2023 campus anti-Semitism, and indicate whether the Attorney General intends to or has taken any action. So he's encouraged to employ appropriate civil rights enforcement authorities to combat anti-Semitism. What do we got here? In addition to identifying relevant authorities to curb or combat anti-Semitism generally required by the section, the Secretary of State, the Secretary of Education, and the Secretary of Homeland Security, in consultation with each other, shall include in the report's recommendations for familiarizing institutions of higher education with the grounds for inadmissibility, so that such institutions may monitor for and report activities by alien students and staff relevant to those grounds, and for ensuring that such reports about aliens lead as appropriate and consistent with applicable law to investigations. So basically, like, oh yeah, and we want you to pressure colleges to submit complaints against your immigrant students on the basis of being anti-Semitic. Yeah, this is dark, man. So basically, it's now illegal to protest against Israel. Hey, no problem. I do need to stream earlier. I'm not trying to be up this late, but all right, that was a lot of talking for me. Let's get into some other stuff. We can wrap this up. We can wrap this up pretty quick. Let's get into this. So Ethan Klein's been working on a content nuke for Hassan, and he has a little bit of an update for us. So let's check it out.
First, a couple things at the top of the show. Hello, everybody. Thanks for being here. My content nuke is done.
Oh, wow.
It is like fucking done.
It's in air. It's traveling intercontinental right now.
So I submitted it for checks, okay?
Okay.
I'll be more specific once the video's posted, but for now I'm being intentionally vague about it. So the first check I passed. The second check I just got notes on. So I'm just talking to Ela about what changes to make, and then so that she can export it. And because this process takes so freaking long, dude, because it's such a long video. An hour, 43 minutes or something. Yeah, people are saying second puberty. That's what I told Ela last night. It's like my second puberty. It's me, Esteban. I don't even like fried chicken that much.
Whoa. Fucking Wednesday night,
I think it's
baby.
just too greasy, if I'm being honest. It's too, I
Get
finished this thing.
Get it.
I finished this thing on
Heather.
like Monday night, Tuesday, and you guys don't understand. People are waiting. You don't understand. I'm done. It's done, and I can't post it. Do you understand? I'm every moment. My life is
Gone.
I want to move on with my life.
Sure.
This has been 2 or 3 months consuming. I look back on this. I don't know how I did it. I really don't.
I mean, it's... yeah.
I mean, you haven't even, first of all, Dan, you haven't even seen it except for that one time where you just poo-pooed it, and everyone was like, oh, this video is probably going to suck, because look at Dan. Yeah.
I did not poo-poo it.
Everybody saw it. Everyone's like, oh, Dan said it sucked. Ethan's a fucking loser. But honestly, I've been pounding it like Hattori Hanzo. Yeah, pounding it with a fucking blacksmith hammer, Dan. Like Hattori Hanzo.
Okay.
And like fine Japanese steel, I've turned this. Ugh. I feel like it says exactly what I wanted it to do. There's so much to say about Hassan.
We're going to talk about it so much. Why don't we just...
No. No.
Only you've seen it, so.
I'm building hype, bro.
Okay.
FOMO, bro.
Yeah, FOMO. I feel like there's so much you could say about Hassan. I could make a whole another video, literally, with the stuff that I didn't leave out, that I didn't put in. But
So guys, Ethan Klein is the fucking guy that watched Hassan's bro tips video and was impressed that Hassan was as misogynistic as he was in that video, and then started grifting to the left. Ethan Klein is so fucking dumb that he thought Hassan was being serious in the bro tips video, even though he's literally had a podcast with Hassan, and Hassan has literally told him those were satirical videos that he did. And then Ethan Klein plays the videos and he's like, I uncovered some dark truth about Hassan's past. He's such a bro. Look at him in this video. He's exactly like Steven Crowder. And Hassan is like, yes, that was the point. That's why I didn't like the videos, because people mistakenly thought that's what I actually believed. That's why I tried to take all of the videos down. And Ethan's like, no, this is what you actually believe. Like, it's like the fucking Always Sunny in Philadelphia clip where Hassan, or like Mac and Dennis are talking to each other and Charlie's there, and they're just like, yeah, I don't think, like, why would we want a wild card? And Charlie's like, yeah, I don't even think he gets us, man. They're like, yeah, I don't think he's understanding what we're talking about. And he's like, yeah, he doesn't get us. They're like, we're talking about you. It's like, Ethan's just so blank. Hassan's like, yeah, like, I don't really like those videos because they don't accurately represent me. And Ethan's like, so that's actually what you believed, right? It's like, no, dude, they were satirical videos that people think that's what I believe. Yeah, so you believe that stuff, really? It's like, holy shit, dude, you're actually so fucking dumb. So I mean, this is gonna be the level of content in the nuke that Ethan's been cooking up over Christmas break, while his house is about to be burned down with wildfires, while he's sick with COVID. He's been like really hamming it up in that basement, living the good life.
The heart and soul of the video is everything I wanted to say. I feel like the things that I wanted to show, I showed, and I did it with I'm telling you guys, every minute of this thing has got great moments. Of this 1 hour, 40 minutes, it is just star-studded.
Star-studded. Okay. All right, we'll see.
I've never been this confident before about a video. I really do think this is it for me. I should retire after this.
Okay.
People think I'm kidding, that I'm being hyperbolic. I'm not. I should, well, don't retire.
Yeah.
Well, that's one thing I agree with Ethan on. He probably should retire.
But it just feels like that. You go out at the top, like Seinfeld retired. Just be like, thank you, everybody.
But he's not retired.
It wasn't, I mean,
Seinfeld.
Last few seasons aren't the strongest.
Okay, these people on the show are not the smartest tools in the shed. Ethan's actually making a reference to a specific Seinfeld episode where George Costanza realizes that he can make people like him more if he always leaves on a high note. And they think that when Ethan Klein says, like, Seinfeld retired, they think that he's talking about the show leaving the network.
And it gets worse. The team working on the statue in Lafayette Square kind of over-smoothed it. They ground the head down to about the size of a softball. And that spells trouble.
All right, well, why don't we smooth the head down to nothing, stick a pumpkin under its arm, and change the nameplate to Ichabod Crane. All right, that's it for me. Be good, everybody.
Yeah, so he wants to leave on top. That's what Ethan's referencing. And the other people like aren't getting it, and I don't know why Ethan doesn't explain it. Anyway, that's just like a petty thing that annoyed me. So
that's why
I wanted to play that.
Went out at the top. Okay, you said went out at the top.
What he did do is go out the top of the ratings.
8 and 9 are good seasons. I will say I like 8 and 9 a lot.
I thought they're great. I mean, listen,
they're good.
Great. You're comparing it to other good seasons of Seinfeld. Compare it to any season of Friends, dude. Please, Friends.
Let's leave Friends out of this. That's
okay. I don't really care about Friends versus Seinfeld. So, okay, one thing that I wanted to talk about is this. So I've talked about this before. This is a video that Ethan Klein did on Hassan, and this is Ethan Klein's idea of good editing. So let's just play this here.
The person that they're talking about is Yoav Gallant. I don't.
But what I am saying is that I think that while Hila misspoke and said he's a good guy, her intention was that, you know, this guy is trying to end the war. And I'm pretty sure we're all on the same page as that being a good thing.
I feel like the reason I brought it up was mainly to express the frustration with Bibi and him firing the one guy that was somewhat, you know, attempting at moderation. It wasn't really so much to say Gallant is a good guy. I shouldn't have used that word. That was a bad choice on my part, considering stuff that he has said that I was not even thinking of. Really coming from the concerning feeling of like, we have Trump in office and Bibi just fired the guy that is opposing him. That's all I was trying to say, but...
Okay, anyway, so this, what I'm trying to show you here is that this is Ethan's idea of comedic editing. Yeah, I don't think Hila Klein is like very good. I don't think either of these people are good at all, but
Sent everybody into a frenzy.
Crazy. I just hate how Ethan is brigading smaller content creators like the deprogram because he couldn't get to you. It's fucking gross how he keeps picking smaller content creators that are just getting by and he is sitting on his golden throne. Is just straight up harassment. I know. He's just...
I can't get over the fact that they keep fucking crying about me responding to these communities. Like, this is the biggest socialist podcast. They have like, they have hundreds of thousands of subscribers. Second Thought has 2 million subscribers. When can I respond to these people? When is it warranted? Like, give me a fucking break.
He's just... like aligning with all these fucking drama peddlers like Keemstar and shit in an effort to try and get me fucking banned is psychotic to me, you know? I just don't get it. I don't understand it.
What a fucking liar, dude. What a Weasley little fucking liar. He's just straight up lying. He's just lying right now. In fact, this is a lie that he keeps saying, is that I'm somehow aligning myself with Keemstar. Once again, I'll show you. I went and fished out the original stories. I was talking about Frogan getting shit from a ton of conservatives for her wonderful remarks about hoping American military men get PTSD. I was showing it.
oh my god.
Yoav Gallant, alongside Benjamin Netanyahu, has an active petition for his arrest by the ICC. The person that they are talking about here, before getting fired by Benjamin Netanyahu, the person that they're calling a moderating voice said this, which is the reason why there is an active petition, active
So this is where it gets funny. It's like Ethan Klein is unable to take any kind of criticism for himself, and so whenever he's faced with criticism from someone like Hassan, what does he do? He just ignores it and then is like, well, you said something that I think means something else that you didn't say.
application for a warrant for his arrest by the ICC. I don't know. I'm legitimately shocked.
The problem why I'm frustrated with this whole situation, you guys know me. I'm more than willing, more than happy to address shortcomings and errors that I've made and take every chance I can to learn and grow from them, right? But the problem I have is that our subreddit and our community is overridden with these 8-year longtime ultra fans who can no longer, you know, tolerate us, or they can no longer walk down this path with us as we've thrown our lot in with the Nazis, right? But like these same people, okay, they hold no standards. And Hassan can go out there and glaze an international terrorist organization and its leader and glaze up Hassan Nasrallah like he's a fucking great dude.
Hassan Nasrallah.
Okay, so like once again, this is one of Ethan Klein's like best videos, right? Because it's so dumb. Hasan is like, yeah, Hila Klein said that Yoav Gallant is a great guy when he's actually a wanted war criminal by the ICC, and like he's personally responsible for hundreds of thousands of Palestinian people dying because he was the Secretary of Defense in a country that was facilitating genocide. And Ethan Klein's like, okay, yeah, I can take criticism, but my real problem is so many people coming into my subreddit and complaining that they can't watch me anymore. Why don't they criticize Hasan for saying that Hassan Nasrallah is a good dude? It's like, bro, you literally just said, like, you tacitly endorsed your wife saying that a war criminal is a good guy. So once again, it's like any kind of criticism aimed at Ethan, he just can't take it all, and he tries to deflect it back at Hasan.
Hassan can go out there and glaze an international terrorist organization and its leader and glaze up Hassan Nasrallah like he's a fucking great dude.
So he's just like, oh yeah, Hasan can do this thing that people are accusing me of doing.
Allah was assassinated. Hezbollah is a paramilitary organization that is also a part of the Lebanese parliament.
Do we like them or no?
I think as a resistance group, they're pretty successful against Israel. They are a terrorist organization. Like they're designated. They are designated by the American state as a terrorist organization.
I do not like them then.
Well, like
I like what you like.
I don't have an issue with them. Let's just say.
I'm going to give you guys a crash course on Hezbollah. Let's start back from the beginning.
Okay, so obviously Hasan was talking about in the context of resisting against Israel. That's why he's like, in the context of resisting against Israel, they're pretty effective. I don't have an issue with them. Like, in the context of resisting Israel, he doesn't have an issue with them. So let's just keep in mind, like, when does Ethan actually get Hasan to say that Hassan Nasrallah is a good guy, right?
Just as a form of punishment, even though we couldn't access them.
I don't have an issue with them.
Once again, sounds like what Israel's doing in Gaza. As of May 21, a minimum of 580,000 people is estimated to have been killed, with 13 million Syrians being displaced and 7 million refugees forced to flee Syria.
I don't have an issue with them, let's just say.
Here's some quotes from Hezbollah leaders, including Nasrallah. Our struggle will end only when this entity, if Israel, is obliterated. We recognize no treaty with it, no ceasefire, and no peace agreement. According to Shal Shai, Nasrallah said in a speech delivered in Beirut, "What do the Jews want? They want security and money. Throughout history, the Jews have been Allah's most cowardly and avaricious creatures. If you look all over the world, you will find no one more miserably and greedily than they are."
I don't have an issue with them.
If we search the entire world for a person more cowardly, despicable, weak, and feeble in psych, mind, and ideology and religion.
I'm sorry, Ethan's so fucking dumb. He's like, miserably psych. It's kind of obvious he's like never read a book or interacted with someone that's read a book. Anyway, so like this is Ethan's editing style. He like intersperses Hasan saying that he doesn't have an issue with this group with like negative facts about the group, and then also is unable to actually analyze what Hasan was talking about in terms of when he says that Hassan Nasrallah is well informed and he's educated. It's the exact same thing where he got so triggered that Hasan was giving Trump credit for getting the ceasefire deal done. Hassan's like, yeah, Trump got the ceasefire deal done because he applied leverage and he actually made deals with Netanyahu. And Ethan's like, wow, you must love Trump. No wonder you wear a MAGA hat all the time. And no wonder you told people to not vote for Kamala Harris. So anyway, Ethan's like really fucking stupid. I also think that he's just not a good guy. Like, he's so spiteful. He's so petty. He has this drive to hunt down drama, and he just subsists off of probably like the most toxic parts of the internet. So something that I watched today was Ethan talking about Elon Musk's Nazi salute. And it's a little weird. Like, he doesn't actually, I don't know. he does ultimately like say it's a Nazi salute, but he takes a lot of time like analyzing it and breaking it down, like while his entire crew is yelling at him like, yeah, it doesn't matter, it's a straight up Nazi salute. And even if it wasn't a Nazi salute, Elon Musk is a fascist that hates Jewish people, and he's espoused anti-Semitic conspiracy theories in the past. And Ethan is like seemingly oblivious to all of this and like not listening at all. And he's like trying out the different salutes himself, and he's like, is this a Nazi salute? If I like pump my chest twice and then put my arm out, is that a Nazi salute? It's like, I don't know, a little bit of a weird obsession. And I just think it's funny, like Ethan, obviously he's a supporter of Israel. The ADL is basically like defending Israel the entire time. And so he kind of has to do this juggling between like Elon Musk doing something that's blatantly pro-Nazi and trying to justify the ADL's their like speech that they put out saying that, oh, that was just an awkward gesture that Elon Musk did. It's not that he's actually anti-Semitic. It was just an awkward gesture in the excitement of the inauguration of Trump. And Ethan's like, oh yeah, like the ADL was weird, but you know, they did condemn him once he started making Holocaust jokes. And so it's like kind of a defense of the ADL too inside of that. Very weird segment. And then the other, so when I talk about Ethan existing on like the lowest levels of internet drama, I'm talking about this kind of shit. So he makes an offhanded comment that Markiplier is changing his voice for some reason, which I don't know why I don't know why he has such an obsession with voices. I guess it's because Hasan's voice used to be high pitched and now it's like low pitched, and Markiplier talks in like a low pitched voice. Maybe he's self-conscious about his voice, but he makes this comment. People like clip it out because it's a stupid joke. It's a stupid joke that he makes, right? He's the type of comedian that will just say what he's thinking, but then if he's ever criticized for it, he's like, well, I was just joking, guys, so you can't actually hold me accountable for it. So anyway, he makes that stupid joke. He gets called out for it. Instead of just letting it go, what does he do? Let's actually just listen to the Markiplier topic introduction.
4 minutes till we got to do our ad read.
So after the ad, I'll do it. But you guys, so I'm in a huge beef with Markiplier.
Shuan had dropped a new video
about it. That I have gone after Markiplier, which is illegal to do on the internet, by the way. Oh, we can make fun of Pirate Software for changing his voice, but not Markiplier. There was a post on a subreddit. They're like, I'm a professional voice coach. I agree with Ethan. Markiplier changed his voice. Listen, I'm just saying, it's not a criticism of you necessarily, because Pirate Software is a...
Okay, so I don't get it. Was it a joke, or did he actually change his voice? I guess the joke is saying that Markiplier is a psycho.
Stop it, man. This is where I work. Focus on switching, for Christ's sake. So anyway, you guys saw I went on this way out of control Markiplier.
Ethan Klein has called out Markiplier, and the response to that...
Well, I think it probably started on TikTok before she picked it up. So maybe it's not fair to do this one first. No, it started on YouTube Drama. Where's that huge
Which we've
post?
been, tragically, I'm very upset about this. They've banned us from posting on YouTube Drama.
Oh my God. Okay, so look, he says one comment, someone clips it out, and then instead of just letting it go like a normal person, Ethan exists in this toxic cycle of call-outs and callbacks and recalling someone else out. And the more beef, the more drama surrounding him and his show, the better it is for him. This is the career that he's built up for himself. He's not a good guy. Like, he exists in these petty drama squabbles. That's when he is at most at home. Why do you think he's been so pleased with the content nuke that he's been hinting at for so long over Hassan? So, of course, instead of actually, like, talking about Markiplier, and he's like, oh, I have a beef with Markiplier, ha ha ha, I'm going to, like, have a conversation with him about it. He goes after this random girl on TikTok, and they just make fun of her. It's like the whole, what is it, like, Miko? Mika's rhetoric. It was the whole Mika's rhetoric thing again, where they're just like bullying this girl who seemed to be a genuine fan of the podcast. Now, this girl that they're talking about on TikTok, she seems kind of like fake and drama-y, but it's like, once again, why the fuck do you care? Like, you're literally calling out random people that are clipping out your show and just spending an entire like 40-minute segment shitting on them, not even engaging with their points at all. It's not like this person has real points, but once again, why are you in a, like, no one else at the level of Ethan Klein's channel does this, where they respond to individual fans. Like, I guess Sam Cedar was the closest to it, where a guy signed up for his show so that he could send like the show a personal message, and he's like, I want to debate you. And then Sam Cedar had him on for like a debate on different policies and stuff like that. But that's not what Ethan's doing. He's just like finding a random person that clipped out his show and just bullying them.
Shut up! I'm playing the fucking intro! Shut the fuck up!
Oh, this is it.
Shut up!
This is the post. Thank you, Keemstar. Thank you.
Wait,
I cross-post. Wait, hold on. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I cross-posted the video to YouTube Drama, got downvoted, and
So he has a very weird and incestuous relationship with his Reddit.
And I'm gonna say the same fucking thing about Markiplier. He fakes
although I
his
will
voice.
say this. This girl...
She might have been enjoying you popping off, to be honest.
Okay, let's watch.
Well, I guess let's
From
see.
the beginning. That is not what he's...
Yeah, maybe she
Sounds
hates
like.
Markiplier.
Find
And
a
she's
video
like, finally,
of him
somebody's
younger.
saying it.
She's my first...
No, she's
I haven't.
hating.
But I'm
Okay.
telling you, right?
I mean, she's on Snark. That's how she found it, presumably.
No, you can see where, yeah. You God mode. Oh, maybe it's the...
What is that? That's the user. That's
Oh,
the
that's
Reddit
the user.
post.
Okay,
If
got
you
it.
go to her part 2, it shows she's on YouTube Drama, but she did upvote it.
Anyway, let's watch fucking...
I mean, Ethan's enjoyed this drama type of stuff his entire career on YouTube. I haven't watched him, but I've been like in and out, right? I've been in and out in moments. I popped in when he was talking with Sam Cedar with the whole Sam Crowder thing, or Steven Crowder thing, not Sam Crowder. I've watched some of his leftovers episodes with Hassan, and I thought those were good, but that's because it wasn't like pure drama slop that Ethan was feeding us, and it wasn't just him cruising his Reddit to find stories that his fans were like, Ethan, please react to this, and they're just like offering up sacrifices to him, and he's like the ape of the mountain from Skull Island coming down, like eating up the sacrifices and then spitting it back out to his fans. It's a really gross relationship between them, but he's always been in this like drama thing, and I think he's always been willing to like cut off friendships and kind of monetize off of that. I don't know. I don't really care. I just think that the politics that Ethan's been talking about are so bad and they need to be corrected, especially when we're talking about Israel and Palestine, because it's literally an ongoing genocide. And when he's spreading misinformation to the point where he's like, yeah, Biden caused the ceasefire to happen, that's actually like quite harmful. But anyway, when I'm talking about the like Ethan just bullying random people, like look at this girl's videos. 0 hearts, 24 hearts, 11 hearts, 1 heart. She's a horribly small content creator. That's probably like the level of interaction you'd get if you just posted like today and you just started your channel today. And Ethan is going in and putting this person on blast for just making a dumb little video. Like, there is no difference between what he's doing and what Libs of TikTok does, where they just find someone that looks silly, blows them up to their huge audience, and then just is like, oh, well, if they get harassed, they get harassed. That's what they get for putting themselves out there. He's the Lib of YouTube, basically. The Lib of YouTube versus Libs of TikTok.
Well, but I'm telling you, he has the same voice. He's faking it. He is faking his fucking voice. There's no question in my mind. I was right about him. I was right about Markiplier. Markiplier's psychotic like that. Like, he's a fucking psycho. You could tell. And so he is someone that can
Wait, hold on.
to
You can
faking his
absolutely
voice.
tell. You can absolutely tell.
Thank you for backing it. So he is a psycho, and he is capable of doing something that extreme, of faking his deep voice for like 20 plus years.
You're right. She didn't say a goddamn thing.
Yeah.
That's amazing that this video went viral for her.
Well, really, it's just you going viral.
I am very viral right now. Although,
look at you.
Which is fine. I mean, I like that they're all thinking about me, I guess, in a way. You know, this is very much like nope. I am not someone that believes all publicity is good publicity. I've always thought that was the dumbest thing ever. But this shit is becoming so silly that like anybody who's honest with themselves and has a functioning brain knows how insane this like manic obsession with me is. So like I kind of do see it potentially as a good thing, as it's like keeping everybody. People can't stop, man.
Silly woman.
Being the first person to start beef with Markiplier really is choices. Find a video of him younger. That's how growing up works.
Question mark, question mark, question mark.
Do you think that videos grow up? What do you mean? That's how growing up works.
Well, they're just saying that people's voices
no,
deepen over time.
Find a video when he started YouTube, dummy.
Well, was he like 13?
What?
Yeah, no, he was in his 20s.
No.
He was in his
Bro, actually, what the fuck? A guy says, find a video of him younger. That's how growing up works. And he's like, do you think videos grow up? Like, man, I really feel like sometimes Ethan just has like misfires in his brain. And he reads one thing and then completely thinks something else. Like, it's fucking nuts. Okay, and then they dogpile this girl a little bit more. Once again, she reacted to a video that she found, and she got like 2,000 comments on her video. I wasn't able to see the total amount of views, but she got 2,000 comments, and he's like, oh yeah, this video went viral from enough for me to say that she's like a psycho obsessed with me.
That's not enough. Let's hear her out.
Psycho, you could tell. And so he
Girl,
is someone that can
just repost the clip.
You can absolutely tell. You can absolutely tell.
Thank you for back it. So he is a psycho, and he is capable of doing something that extreme.
Bro, just mad. Markiplier makes him feel emasculated.
True. You are mad about that, yeah.
Mark is going to watch Mark completely ignore them. Yeah, because he's not a fucking dumbass. He doesn't actually think that this is a serious beef. Yeah. The call is coming from in the house, bro. Has issues with everyone.
That's kind of true.
I mean, she's a talented artist. She should like draw you and then like set it on fire. That'd probably get a lot of views.
Huh? Maybe just build me an effigy, a dummy. Say kill Ethan Klein. Everybody hang Ethan Klein. Burn him alive.
Alex would never do that.
Nah, she's chill.
She's chill.
I'm just saying we get a lot of people. They would love that on Start. I think they want me to die. I actually think they hate me that much. I think they actually want me and Hila to die.
Probably some of them, yeah.
Like if I died, I think there would be celebratory posts.
I don't really see that not being the case. Yeah.
Yeah.
That would definitely happen.
I mean,
so yeah.
It's kind of interesting and just on its face. Yeah. Did they hate me that much?
Probably not universally. I'm not saying everybody, but like there's definitely.
Person, did he speak super quick?
I don't remember. I didn't think about his voice at all. So we had a conversation. I didn't think about the way he was talking at all.
Yeah, I got it.
Yeah.
But
and you're both experiencing the fire, but one of them, Ethan, is like, he unfollowed me. He's a psychopath.
Girl, you are not real. Please go find a new community to be a part of.
Also,
all right. Anyway, I'm done with this shit. So yeah, he's probably gonna post like a video tomorrow. Let's take a look at this. So this is kind of like a mini content nuke. So this is everyone hates Hasan Piker. This was posted in the H3 subreddit. 261,000 views. Bruh, this is gonna be a banger when Hasan plays this on his stream while he's in another room. Hasan's chair is going to love this video. Hasan, everything on this video is untrue. Chatter, did you watch it? No way I'm going to give him clicks, bro. Okay, so anyway, let's just take a look at it. Because this is probably going to be like a preview to what Ethan has.
Hasan Piker is controversial for many reasons. The most prominent are his political beliefs that will not be the focus of this video. The focus instead will be on him and his many inconsistencies that often go ignored. Hasan does this by deflecting criticism of him by attacking those who give the criticism. This is all exemplified by his conversation.
So right off the bat, I think that's funny. It's like, oh yeah, Hasan gets criticized a lot because of his political beefs, or because of his political beliefs. I'm gonna ignore those political beliefs to look at like the consistency of his character, I guess. Kind of funny right off the bat there. It's like, okay, the political beliefs are kind of the main thing that Hasan gets criticized for. He was literally like top 3 for anti-Semite of the year for, what is it, the AFL, something like that. I've been doing good. My name is James. You can call me James or UL in the chat.
With creator Willie Mack, who brought forward this exact criticism.
You wanted to debate about a video you didn't.
Okay, dude. if this guy's bringing up Willie Mack, like that blows all of his credibility. That Willie Mack video was one of the worst videos I've ever seen in terms of the amount of disinformation that Willie Mack was putting out there, and just like not even analyzing any of the clips. He would just like show a clip of Hasan and be like, see, that clip shows that Hasan is a horrible person and he's going to burn in hell for the rest of eternity. All right, on to the next clip. It's like, dude, you're not actually saying anything. You don't know anything. You are a drama slop YouTuber and you're not analyzing anything that Hasan's saying. So how can you say it's bad when you don't even know what Hasan is saying? So right off the bat, this fucking guy, June the King, is not, like, we're not even 30 seconds in and he's already not off to a good start.
Even watch. Why? Yeah. If you're not this passionate about the subject, then you're basically admitting that you're a bottom-feeding drama farmer.
To add to this, Hasan knows what he is doing in diminishing the image of Willie Mack. It is a strategy he is aware of and hates.
To voluntarily and maliciously misunderstand my point so they can make YouTube videos and get ad revenue is that those clicks drive, that controversy and those clicks drive revenue in your direction and affinity from people who are looking for someone to be like, yeah, fuck this Hasan guy.
Hasan is obtuse, hypocritical, and angry, all aspects that reflect on his most intense followers. This attitude is particularly grievous when he does not...
Yeah, wait, so what are these comments? So he's ignorant, obtuse, and angry, and all aspects that rub off on his most intense followers. This weird choice of words, like, is this June the King video AI? Is this channel like AI? Because it kind of sounds like it. Disliking Hasan is so difficult because 98% of people disliking Hasan have actual brainworms. Because that's obtuse and angry. Willie Mack show fell off. How, like, what the fuck is this shit? What the fuck are these comments? Willie Mack show fell off. That is an indicator. That's an indication that Hasan's most intense followers, which once again, weird phrasing, is obtuse and angry. Saying that Willie Mack show fell off. Willie Mack is still just mad because he can't get beyond socialism is when no house. Okay, that's like referencing a meme in Hasan's community. I think Hasan is kind of cringe, but any big creators out there speaking up about Palestine deserve nothing but respect, IMO. Cut off the comment. Hasan and a few others are raising a lot of money for Palestinian children, more like silly whack show, frankly, IMO, IMHO. Once again, like, these are all completely reasonable comments. They're not even like hateful or spamming. And the guy's putting these comments up is saying that Hasan is cultivating a community of obtuse and hateful people
that reflect on his most intense followers. This attitude is particularly grievous when he does not understand why
his most intense followers. Dude, these people are nutty.
Why there is so much backlash in the things he does, like his interview of a Yemeni pirate.
No way!
Wait, so I thought you weren't criticizing the politics of it. Why would you care who he's interviewing, right? So, like, obviously the criticism here is that, oh, he's a Yemeni terrorist kid. He's a terrorist he's killed hundreds of Jews barehanded. That's why you can't see his arms, because they're covered in blood. But Hasan did it in a joking manner, right? But isn't that political? I thought you weren't criticizing the politics. So you're criticizing Hasan for interviewing. Bro, once again, these fucking people are criticizing Hasan because of the politics, but they don't know enough about politics to be able to effectively criticize him on it. And it's just like, these people are so fucking dumb. They literally, like, Ethan is talking about, oh, I don't like H3 Snark. That's going to be the entirety of Ethan Klein's, like, content nuke, going to be like Hasan Snark compilation. That's all that it is. This is all going to be the Willie Mack show regurgitated and recycled, man. Just like plopped back out there.
That's sick. Yes, that's fire. That's so fire. Oh my god, we think the Houthis, Ansar Allah, is doing what Luffy would do.
Hasan tries to defend this interview by stating that it was journalistic, yet it lacked critical questions that would qualify it as such. There is a dense history of moments like these that will attempt to paint a picture of who Hasan...
Bro, have you seen the fucking state of journalism in America? Have you ever seen a journalist? Oh yeah, a journalist needs to ask critical questions to be considered a journalist. So fucking dumb, dude. Also, he doesn't defend that interview because it's journalistic. So misrepresenting Hasan's position on this, he defends the interview because it is humanizing someone that has experienced genocide for the majority of their life. It has experienced famine, like a man-made famine, for the majority of their life. It is humanizing that person. It's not journalistic. Like, sure, you can ask the person about their life, but he's not asking them about the foreign affairs or like the domestic affairs of Yemen or the relationship between Yemen and Saudi Arabia because he's a fucking teenager. Oh my God. Am I gonna have to like make a counter for every time this guy says something ridiculously stupid?
Piker was and now is, and why he is blamed for the recent Twitch apocalypse, and why he is the largest, most controversial streamer. But first, this video is sponsored.
Oh, he's not AI. That makes it even worse. Holy shit. Okay, yeah, Hassan is blamed for the Twitch adpocalypse. How is that going again? How is the Twitch adpocalypse going again? All right, this was 2 months ago. Been hearing about this a lot on Twitch and LSF, but I can't seem to find anything explaining what it is. There really isn't an adpocalypse taking place. It's advertisers not wanting to be associated with select sections of content. The political channels, for instance, got slammed on the ad revenue side and aren't making anywhere near as much as a channel that's more ad friendly, like those in the animals category. Okay. Stream charts. The Twitch adpocalypse story. There is no Twitch adpocalypse new content classification label category causing grief for some streamers. So basically they just added a new content classification label. And if you are in a certain content classification, which advertisers think they don't want to be associated with, then you might take a revenue hit. But that's not going to affect people that aren't talking about controversial issues like politics. So right off the bat, if this motherfucker is going to be talking about Twitch adpocalypse, just know that he is straight up lying. Also, goddamn, bro. Get some interior design. Like, I know my setup isn't the most visually appealing, but dude, your shit looks horrible. What is this court doing here? You have this one plant with nothing else on this make it look like an actual place that you're living. All right. Oh wow, he has an entire growing up section on Hassan.
Born July 25th, 1991 in New Brunswick, New Jersey, Hassan did not have a typical American upbringing because the majority...
Wait, Hassan did not have a typical American upbringing because what? He didn't grow up in America? Is that what he's going to say?
Majority of his developmental years were spent in Turkey. This is because he has influential parents that resided in Turkey, but had the wealth to fly to America and give Hassan U.S. citizenship.
What?
Hassan did not have a typical American upbringing because the majority of his developmental years were spent in Turkey. This is because he has influential parents that resided in Turkey, but had the wealth to fly to America and give Hassan U.S. citizenship through being born on U.S. soil.
Bro, what is the phrasing of it? Okay, so he's like, Hassan did not have the typical American childhood experience because he spent the majority of his formative years residing in Turkey. That's because he had influential parents that lived in Turkey. So he grew up in Turkey. You can just say he grew up in Turkey. What the fuck is this phrasing? It's like, oh yeah, Hassan was like an American psyop, but he developed in Turkey. That's why he's so off and weird. That's why he's so off-putting to the average American, because his influential parents resided in Turkey, making his formative years growing up in Turkey. But they had the money to fly to America to give Hassan dual citizenship. Yeah, dude. He's a fucking anchor baby. What? This is so weird.
He did develop in Turkey.
Also, like, why are you starting a hit piece on Hassan on his childhood? Once again, extremely weird behavior from this guy.
Hassan describes himself as an Ameribu, slang that captures an interest with American culture in the more excessive senses. He describes himself as hedonistic, loving the material goods that can be tied to American culture and foods, such as snacks, that he took interest in. And to that...
Okay, is it just me, or is it extremely creepy that this guy's showing like pre-adolescent pictures of Hassan on this video that says everyone hates Hassan Piker? Like, this is really weird. Why are you showing kid pictures of Hassan?
While Hassan's family was financially very well off, his life was not perfect. Hassan often describes himself as struggling to lose weight. Other points of conflict were with ideologies and their presentation to him when growing up in Turkey. Something he did not conflict with was the mandatory service, but his parents did.
In Turkey, there's still this concept called a pink slip, because everyone has to serve in the military. Every able-bodied male has to serve in the military, either after high school or after college. I thought it would be good. Like, I thought it'd be good for, you know, I'd be even more fit. And my dad was like, I'll disown you. He said, like, I didn't spend this much money on you to fucking go and like die in a mountaintop somewhere, you fucking idiot.
Hassan's parents guided a lot of his development, including his college. It was here that he went from living in Turkey to now
yeah, I've been like aware of Hasan for years as well. I've never seen a lot of, I think I've seen like one picture of Hasan that Hasan will use to show that he was fat as a kid. Like, where is this guy getting all of these child pictures of Hasan and his brother?
Living and attending college in Miami, where Hasan's parents wanted him to take up a traditional, well-paying profession such as a lawyer or doctor. Hasan was more interested in the nightlife of Miami.
What the fuck, dude? What the fuck is this shit? Okay, all right. I'm gonna skip through the growing up. Like, I really do not give a fuck.
And my uncle at the time had a
like when this guy said, "I'm not gonna focus on the politics. I'm gonna focus on Hasan as a person." I didn't think that meant I'm gonna focus on him as a 12-year-old. I'm gonna focus on him as a prepubescent kid that thought joining the military was going to make him lose weight. I didn't think he'd go that far back.
YouTube channel / network called the Young Turks Network.
Though Hasan describes the Young Turks YouTube channel as small, in late 2013, the same year of his internship, the channel had over 1 million subscribers in a time that this sort of traction on the platform was hardly reachable. Moreover, according to Social Blade, during this time it was actually not just one of the most viewed channels on YouTube with nearly 1 million views a day, it was possibly the largest left-leaning YouTube channel on the platform. And so Hasan, living in LA, entered at his uncle's company and also lived in his uncle's house. Hasan describes his job as building the advertising and sales operation in the company. But what he really wanted to do was be in front of the camera. So as an additional obligation for himself, Hasan created videos. These would appear on a channel operated by the Young Turks under TYT University. As per the header of the channel, and as the name implies, this was a lifestyle channel that skewed in the direction of college life. And so the videos largely revolved around sexual topics and not the typical discussion of politics the network was known for. Hasan's entry was his Bro Tip series. You're thinking it, he's saying it.
Leave your comments and ideas and opinions that I really...
I'm not going to focus on politics. Instead, I will dump my stalker dossier. Yeah, pretty much. That's pretty much what this video is. Wait, so is this guy doing the thing where he's like, is he doing the same thing Ethan does, where he's showing Hasan doing those bro tips and saying that that's genuinely what Hasan believed?
As building the advertising and sales operation in the company. But what he really wanted to do was be in front of the camera. So as an additional obligation for himself...
Dude, stop showing such sexy pictures of Hasan.
But what he really wanted to do was be in front of the camera. So as an additional obligation for himself, Hasan created videos. These would appear on a channel operated by the Young Turks under TYT University. As per the header of the channel, and as the name implies, this was a lifestyle channel that skewed in the direction of college life. And so the videos largely revolved around sexual topics and not the typical discussion of politics the network was known for. Hasan's entry was his Bro Tip series. You're thinking it, he's saying it.
Leave your comments and ideas and opinions that I really truly care about in the section below. And if you don't, I'm gonna come to your house and I'm gonna have sex with your dog. And once more, Bro Tip is ended, audience. I have successfully given you just the tip.
This was from a sub 2-minute video where Hasan provides his top 3 favorite cheeses. And as per the archive of the YouTube page, it was not very well received. Looking at other archived episodes, this looks to be the standard. Like this one where Hasan gives tips on how to get women in a club.
Let's get out of here. It's time to get out of there, and it's time to separate her from her herd, meaning her crowd of girlfriends that are going to do their best to cockblock you because they're fat and lonely. Leave your comments and ideas and opinions that I really truly care about in the section below, and if you don't, I'm gonna come to your house and I'm gonna have sex with your dog.
Following this poor reception, Hasan would open a video reading a zesty comment.
Sir Meowington says his head looks way too small for his body. If you're saying that about my head, you should see the size of my penis.
Some of the dislike of Hasan was possibly because he was edgy with some of the jokes he would make in these videos.
A few things to consider when you're thinking about Lady Gaga as a top contender for Babe of the Week should be the fact that she might have a penis. The fact that Lady Gaga might have a...
Oh, really? So he's like a documentarian. Man, how far we've fallen. How far we've fallen.
Small penis does absolutely terrify me. Come back again next week when we discuss the legendary question of all time. Old enough to count, old enough to mount? Question mark? Ow! I want to say thank you to Miley Cyrus for showing off her camel toe at the VMAs the other night. I always knew Hannah Montana was a little slut. Don't even try to hide it. Look, this is a classic example of what happens when your father doesn't pay attention to you. You turn out to be a slut who's craving for attention, and then I tend to pick you up at a bar late night and bang you out on the first date.
With TYT University rebranding at least twice over the years and the entirety of the Bro Tip series wiped from the channel, it is difficult to say how the series developed. But what is known is Hasan does not look back on this.
Bro, Hasan's literally talked about this, has he not? Has he not talked about Bro Tips? I mean, there's clips of him talking about it. Just gonna see if we find anything. Hasan defends himself. Okay, so look, literally 2 seconds when we have a video. Hasan defends himself from his old cringe Bro Tip videos.
I hope everyone's having a fantastic evening. To start you off on this beautiful day. Now, you might be wondering, Hasan, why is this such a freaky day? And that... No. On kit for like $10. And every single time I don't lose the kit, I keep it in the same location. Nice little brekkie sandwich. I worked out back from what all Japanese. This is a Vietnamese shirt, Vietnamese brand. The jacket. I was finally able to find the charging thing for my Theragun. We're sync, girl. Not me. I am not that have a hard time putting stuff together at a reasonable hour. So that's why we had to do it. Can you show us archived TYT videos of you giving advice to college guys? What? Why would I do that? That was like archived advice videos. Those were satire, and that literally was like 10 years ago. And not only that, but it was also like something that my fucking haters will routinely post about to be like, look, yeah, that shit is not even archived. That shit was like deleted, and some fucking Nazis found it like a while ago to try and cancel me. You know, it's weird. Boomtown. Bro, that person is a hater trying to bait 100%. I mean, it's a 14-month subscription.
Holy shit.
People. Okay, anyway, we don't really need to see the rest of that, but he literally says it's satire and it was deleted because it's like people actually thought it was real. That took about, what, a minute to find out? And this video was posted 7 months ago. This video was posted 5 days ago. And didn't do any research. What a good documentarian. And Jesus Christ, the guy being like, oh yeah, well this was this was deleted, so it's hard to find out his true intentions for it. It's like, okay, well, did you reach out to him? Did you do any bit of research about it at all? Or are you just going to pretend that that was his genuine views, like what Ethan Klein did?
Bar late night and bang you out on the first date.
With TYT University rebranding at least twice over the years and the entirety of the Bro Tip series wiped from the channel, it is difficult to say how the series developed. But what is known is Hasan does not look back on the series fondly.
I had like a older run where I was like way more, first of all, I was way more broy than I am now. I'm still pretty broy now, but it was way more broy back then. It was just trying to be funny.
Exactly.
It was hacky. It was hacky. It was bad.
Even with a not so great start, he continued his work at the Young Turks.
Okay, so that is completely disingenuous from this guy, but he's saying that like he's trying to make Hasan look like that was actually what he believed in, when Hasan was just saying like, I was broy back then and I was trying to be funny and satirical. But the guy made it seem like, oh no, that's actually what Hasan believes, but he's just more broy back then and now he's less broy. So very slimy stuff from this guy.
He could even be seen as a guest on other similar and popular channels like BuzzFeed. It was not until 2016 that he got a big break in the form of The Breakdown, a series hosted on Facebook and on the main The Young Turks channel. In respect to the theme of this channel, Hasan discussed...
I mean, the thing that gets me about this is that Hasan has talked about his career and developing through his career so much that you don't need to do this. You could literally just like go to any podcast episode that Hasan has appeared on or go through his streams and actually do research and like find out Hasan's career trajectory. You don't need to do all of this outside looking in. Okay, first he was there and then he pops up there and then he's there and now he's on Twitch. You can just get like a 5-minute segment of any kind of podcast that he's on and use that, and yeah, you can chop this runtime in probably half.
And explain political topics. This series appears to be far better received as Hasan had greatly improved in his delivery and did away with the more scandalous jokes. He was also a fill-in host. This is when the planned host for a video is unavailable, and so Hasan is called on as a temporary replacement. And all this was working in his favor. Starting in 2016, every 4 years, interest in content Hasan was producing would reach a new peak. This is due to the US elections driving more interest in politics. And while political pundits are not relatively new, the booming social media space allowed them to gain more influence by their own means. Of note, at least in reference to the story of Hasan, was Tommy Lauren, a political pundit who leans right and was quite popular at the time. Enough so that it inspired Hasan to make videos countering hers.
This isn't about arriving at the truth or justice. For you, it's certainly not about the facts. It's just about tapping into the primal fears of your fan base so they'll go out and vote Republican.
If you're not outraged, you're not paying attention. Maybe you're one of the liberal types who spend the next 2 weeks defending this illegal immigrant murderer.
As Hasan describes it, these series of videos were highly popular and possibly helped in keeping his series going well into 2017 and 2018. But Hasan still wanted to do more. Not for the Young Turks this time, but for him. He tried his hand at vlogging and other forms of content creation, but more and more was favoring streaming on Twitch. Here, he would play video games while
I really don't give a fuck about this shit. Okay, growth and Destiny / Hasan dynamic. I'm sorry. I'm not gonna listen to that. Like, I really don't care oh, turns out Destiny's a shitty person. Wow. All right, let's just skip to the 9/11 comments. Once again, I think it's fucking ironic that this guy started the video off by saying, we're not going to talk about the politics, but the only things I'm going to criticize him on are when he's criticizing America. All right. Oh, America deserved 9/11. Oh, for some reason, he didn't grow up in America due to his parents being prominent Turkish citizens with the ability to fly back and forth. All right, let's just see how he wraps up the Destiny's thing.
Watching after Destiny's stream is my favorite thing to watch. Here's some money for the best content on Twitch XD.
Thanks, buddy. I have your email now, by the way, just for the record. So why don't you just stop fucking sending me donos to harass me for your daddy Destiny with literally your email involved in it? What a fucking stupid thing you just did now. You absolute idiot. I have your full name now. And this time, if I go to fucking Twitch, it's reasonable because you're literally harassing me. Do you know how many fucking donos I've gotten from Destiny's fans tonight? Do you know how many fucking Destiny fans have sent me their emails tonight? Excuse me. Paying money.
Also, hold on. Like, I just gotta say, like, look, Ethan Klein has made the point that Hasan changed his voice, right? His voice is very high-pitched here. It's kind of lower-pitched in modern day, like currently. Let's just take a look at how his voice sounded before he started streaming on Twitch.
If you don't, I'm gonna come to your house and I'm gonna have sex with your dog. And once more, bro tip is ended.
Wow, so his voice is actually kind of dark, or deep at least. Yeah, so honestly, like, it's quite obvious it was the microphone. And who the fuck cares? Oh my God.
Especially when compared to his most controversial statements of 2019.
I can't do it. This guy has the understanding of foreign policy of like a 12-year-old. What the fuck? What the fuck is wrong with this dude? Didn't he go to war and like literally lose his eye because some mujahideen, a brave fucking soldier, fucked his eye hole with their dick? Isn't that how he lost his fucking dumbass eye? Because he got his fucking eye hole fucked? America deserved 9/11, dude. Fuck it. I'm saying it.
We're there to partner with them. We're not there doing our own thing. We're there partnering and training
In a video
and
game.
equipping and enhancing their capabilities. It's
Like,
happening.
we fucking totally brought it on ourselves, dude. Holy shit. We did. We fucking did. In a video game.
There are two large aspects to this controversy. There is first interpretation. An interpretation that Hassan supports terrorists by calling them brave. Then there is his intent that breaks down his statement in that the U.S. funding...
Once again, this is a completely apolitical video, right? Yeah, Hassan supports terrorists by calling them brave. I'm just so sick of, I'm so over people criticizing other people for like supporting terrorism. Obviously, if you are encouraging violence upon anyone, that's a completely different story. But if you're just saying like, oh yeah, people fighting for the sovereignty of their homeland should not be like executed and summarily bombed, like carpet bombed, and that's the criticism that you're getting, or saying that America is bad because they're like funding a genocide. It's like, dude, America is the biggest state sponsor of terrorism in the world. Like, in the history of the world, America is the biggest state sponsor of terrorism. So I don't want to hear your criticism being, oh, well, you support terrorists because our terrorists are going into a foreign country and then getting their eyes blown out by people with way less funding, way less technology, and nowhere to go. So that's something that's wrong with you. You can't support terrorists unless it's American terrorists, basically.
Of terrorist organizations against mutual opposition like Russia empower them enough to be able to choreograph such an attack. The comments about brave fighters is also one that references a section in a Rambo movie when it called terrorists brave.
This film was dedicated to the brave Mujahideen fighters of Afghanistan. We did fund them. Yes, they were fighting the Soviet Union at the time. That's obviously important context. But, but we did have blowback when they turned on us.
That was Chink, the owner of the Young Turks and Hassan's uncle, bringing Hassan on to explain what he meant by his statement and clarify he did not mean ill will.
So you said America deserved 9/11. Did you mean that?
Following the original statement, Hassan was suspended on Twitch for 7 days, and he and the Young Turks were getting a sea of death threats. Entering 2020, this was one of the cited reasons why Hassan wanted to separate himself from the Young Turks. Bringing this controversial nature to the doorstep did not sit right with him, but also the Young Turks were starting to take issue with Hassan's success. On Twitch, he did virtually the most important thing you can do with content creation, and that is keeping a frequent schedule. He did this to a particularly unheard of degree. In 2020, he was live for over 3,600 hours. An even more jaw-dropping statement.
Okay, I don't care. 2021 controversies, critiques and being trolled, the divide. Okay, so that's with Ethan Klein. Willie Mac Show Fallout? Bro, Willie Mac Show was not serious enough to make an entire fucking like 50-minute long. Wait, 127. 30-minute long section in your fucking video about the fallout of the Willie Mac Show. Oh, and then the Twitch apocalypse, which we already described as nothing. And then the outro. Okay, let's just, all I'm going to do is the 2021 controversies, the critiques and being trolled, and then we're gonna skip to the outro because I do not give a fuck about the rest of this video. I mean, this guy's shown that is like zero political analysis whatsoever. He's not even saying anything interesting. He's just like repeating extremely watered down criticisms of Hassan. I thought this would actually be like more anti-Hassan hatred, but it's literally just being like, oh, well, these one guys don't like Hassan, and then nothing else.
And that's why in August of 2021, there was a controversy about Hassan buying a $2.7 million house. For any other successful streamer, this would not matter. But for Hassan, it does, because it can be seen as inconsistent with the values of a socialist. It is likely that the most flack he got was not even from people diametric of him,
This
but
guy's
people in
so
his own
dumb,
community that
dude.
denounced.
Okay, Housegate. Hassan bought a house. Please let this be in the Ethan Klein content, Nuke. Hassan bought a house. Oh no, we should crucify him. Let's take him out. Let's put him on the guillotine. Yeah, dude. Guys, did you know that housing is against the socialism code of ethics?
Money for them to voluntarily and maliciously misunderstand my point so they can make YouTube videos and get ad revenue, because those clicks drive that controversy, and those clicks.
Another element Hassan uses in his defense is a perception that he believes people look at socialism like a poverty cult.
Yes, in America, people literally think socialism is a poverty cult. People straight up think if you're a socialist, you need to like literally live this life of austerity, and every single dollar that you generate cannot go to like any kind of personal consumption because that's fucked up.
This is a defense Hassan will use when addressing controversy about other purchases like a Gucci bag. It is not so much people criticizing him about needing to live in poverty, but rather him living a highly consumerist, hedonistic lifestyle. A lifestyle that can be seen as aligning with the greed that capitalism can carry. Whether fair or not.
Bro, does this guy fucking know what hedonism is? If you buy an expensive bag or expensive clothes, or like you go on a trip and you are literally working through the entire trip, that's being a hedonist. Oh man. Yeah, Hassan buys a house, Hassan buys Gucci bags.
These are the reasons why Hassan is increasingly becoming disliked regardless of political alignment. Even so, Hassan does say he gives money to charity, though he does not specify how much, and does make the point that giving money to charity should not exempt someone from criticism. Tangentially, there were a few people involved in this controversy, such as Destiny when he tweeted out a 2017 picture of Hassan wearing an Eat the Rich shirt alongside an article about Hassan purchasing a $2.7 million house. Ludwig, a popular creator Hassan is friends with, like Hassan did, attributed Destiny's tweet as the reason the controversy came.
Make the rich pay. It's not an Eat the Rich shirt. And Hassan talks about how he pays taxes all the time, right? Wouldn't it actually be consistent to be wearing a shirt that says make the rich pay, and then you also push for corporations and oligarchs to get taxed more as Hassan gets taxed himself more? So once again, like, just straight up not being able to read words right in front of you in an attempt to just like frame the person as a hypocrite. And even if they're a hypocrite, who gives a fuck, dude? That's literally the lowest form of political discourse, saying that someone's being hypocritical. Criticize what they're saying. And this guy can't do that. All he's being is like, oh, Hassan bought a house. Hassan lived in Turkey. Hassan's an anchor baby. Hassan said America deserves 9/11 in a video game. This guy is contributing nothing to the world. The only thing he contributed was unearthing like childhood photos of Hassan from the darkest depths of the internet. It's fucking insane. Like, these are the criticisms. Like, honestly, I was coming into this video. I hadn't watched this video before this stream. I was coming into this video being like, okay, well, you know, Ethan Klein's been talking about this content Nuke for a while. But this guy just released something. Like, we're probably not going to see anything that we haven't seen before. This guy's probably going to be a little bit of a preview to the Hassan content Nuke that Ethan Klein has. But I don't know. Like, this video is really bad. This is kind of making me more excited for the content Nuke, because we might be seeing like more clips of Hassan that we haven't seen before. This video is just like, this is actually worse than Willie Mack's video. Willie Mack had more effort put into the research and kind of like clip compilations than this guy has. This guy's just rehashing old drama. He's not even finding specific clips and using these clips of Hassan and like calling out Hassan specifically for that. He's just like, and this is when Destiny called out Hassan, and this is when other people called out for Hassan for saying that America deserved 9/11, and this is Ethan Klein calling out Hassan. It's like, dude, you're not actually, Like, I guess that's kind of the whole point of everyone hates Hassan Piker, but it just feels so lazy. Okay, 21 controversies. You bought a house, great. Let's skip the house thing. I don't care what Destiny has to say.
Controversy machine were in place and slowly starting to turn. What would be happening from here on, as demonstrated with his purchase of a house, would be controversy about Hassan Piker. Not so much Hassan's take on a sensitive subject, even though those things go hand in hand. The difference now, likely due to his popularity, is that he would be at the center of the controversy. His next controversy took place just 2 months later when he revealed that he had sex with prostitutes in the past, specifically at a German brothel known as Artemis. To this, a Twitter user posted a snippet of the Artemis Wikipedia page, reading, quote,
"Okay, I don't give a fuck. Like, I've gone over this before."
I'm 17-year-old, but does add some clarity in that this is how the investigation started and why the trafficking was likely not systemic, even though the assailant did work.
Oh my god, he's still talking about the Artemis Club.
Fucking Twitch mod right now, they're just like is banning every single one of my mods right now, deactivating their accounts. What the fuck is going on?
These mods, as discovered, were banned for saying a certain word that Hassan defends the usage of.
Something I've talked about so many times too, because it's like white boys love fucking saying like crackers the same as the N-word, crackers the same as the N-word, right? It's really stupid. It's not like the etymology of the word is different. Like cracker means literally whip cracker. It comes from whip cracker. So the power still is in the hands of the white person in that situation, whereas the N-word is dehumanizing.
Hassan defends the usage of the word primarily because it is not as worse as others, but does not address the notion that people don't like being insulted due to their skin color. This spiraled into conversation on the usage of the word, and many streamers weighed in, with Hassan even—
Bro, what the what? Yeah, so explaining the etymology of the word cracker and explaining why it's not as bad as the N-word, because the N-word is dehumanizing and it's against a group of people that have been historically oppressed versus white people who basically have all of the power in this country and in the world. And that's why, like, the N-word can be more brutal when used in certain contexts than the word cracker. And this guy's like, yeah, but he doesn't acknowledge why some people don't like being discriminated against based off their skin color. It's like he's literally explaining that right now. You're just too stupid to understand that. So is this literally the cracker controversy? Holy shit, dude. These are so stupid. These are so fucking dumb.
Asking some about their opinion, as streamer XQC is reacting to.
What do you think about the word cracker?
The what?
The word cracker.
What do I think about the word cracker?
2 of my mods got banned for saying cracker yesterday in a sequence of like 3 minutes.
I don't use it personally.
Oh.
I'd rather describe people with things that aren't just broad stroke derogatory terms based off the color of their skin.
Okay.
On Twitter, Hassan continued this tirade, stating that it is not a slur, and then did the same thing on Twitch.
I've been called a cracker more times than every single one of you fucking pasty little cracker bitches in my chat, okay? Let's be fucking real for a second, okay, Mr. Alabama?
Bro, it's literally like not even a slur.
I've been called a cracker a fuckload more than you. Why? Because I'm extremely online, okay? So shut the fuck up. Stop crying about this fucking term, okay? Recognize the person who's calling you a fucking cracker is literally powerless, okay? Sorry, it's just the truth. A person calling you a fucking cracker is powerless. They're doing it as someone who's been historically oppressed.
All right, hold on. I hate to derail this, but I need to talk about this. This is just too perfect.
Sorry I'm being so negative. I'm a bummer. I don't know. I shouldn't be. I'm a very, lucky guy. I got a lot going for me. I'm healthy. I'm relatively young. I'm white, which thank God for that shit, boy. That is a huge leg up. Are you kidding me? Oh, God, I love being white. I really do. Seriously, if you're not white, you're missing out because this shit is thoroughly good.
I mean, if you are here for the earlier part of the stream, we went over like about 50 executive orders that Donald Trump did, and about half of them were basically saying, like, let's make white people more powerful in this country. We'll rescind any kind of programs that try to make women more equitable in the country, or have kind of DEI programs, or saying that you can't discriminate against black people or Asians. We're going to get rid of funding for like Hispanic cultural centers. Let's just make it a little bit better to be white in this country.
But let me be clear, by the way. I'm not saying that white people are better. I'm saying that being white is clearly better. Who could even argue? If it was an option, I would re-up every year. Oh, yeah, I'll take white again. Absolutely. I've been enjoying that. I'm going to stick with white. Thank you. Here's how great it is to be white. I could get in a time machine and go to any time and it would be fucking awesome when I get there. That is exclusively a white privilege. Black people can't fuck with time machines. A black guy in a time machine is like, hey, anything before 1980? No, thank you, I don't want to go. But I can go to any time. The year 2? I don't even know what was happening then. But I know when I get there, welcome, we have a table right here for you, sir. Thank you. Oh, it's lovely here in the year 2. I can go to any time. In the past, I don't want to go to the future and find out what happens to white people because we're going to pay hard for this shit. You got to know that. We're not going to just fall from number 1 to 2. They're going to hold us down and fuck us in the ass forever. And we totally deserve it. But for now, whee! Now, if you're white and you don't admit that it's great, you're an asshole. It is great. And I'm a man. How many advantages could one person have? I'm a white man. You can't even hurt my feelings. What can you really call a white man that really digs deep? Hey, cracker. Oh, ruined my day. Boy, shouldn't have called me a cracker. Bringing me back to owning land and people. What a drag. I am married, though. That takes me down a few pegs.
Okay, so anyway, I think that's like the best way I've heard kind of the dynamic between cracker and the N-word described. It's like, you're white. You're literally on the top of the world. The systems of America and basically like the entire world work to prop you up and hold you above other minorities of other ethnicities of people. And when you say the word cracker and, you know, people are like, oh, you can't, of course you can be racist against white people. Of course you can be racist against them. It's like, sure, you can, but is it going to be meaningful racism? And the answer to that is no. And that's why I don't hold cracker and the N-word in the same level of regard, because they're simply not. They don't have the same impact on people.
Going off steam, okay? You can say that that's infantilizing or whatever the fuck, but that's truly the reality.
Now, 2 days into this controversy, Hassan would not let this go.
Just fucking ban me and get it over with if that's the case. You know what I mean?
That is from Hassan's video titled, So I Got Banned. And so is this clip.
This idea that, like, I'm being racist towards whites, especially as a fucking white person, especially as someone who advocates for the rights of everyone, which also...
Oh, I want this guy June the King to make the argument Hassan's not a white person. I want that so bad.
Includes white people is a fucking ridiculous thing.
Hassan on Twitter confirms that he was banned for the reason everyone thought, and was unrelenting on using that word or similar ones. All sorts of people had an opinion on this, few more extreme than the infamous creator Sam Hyde.
But Hassan, you're gonna fight me. You are going to fight me one way or another. I don't care if I have to break into that nice house of yours. You're gonna fight me, son. Turn this down. Go ahead.
The fuck, dude? This guy wanted to fight Hassan? This guy's lost a fight with genetics, and he wants to fight Hassan? This guy looks like one of those creatures that Darwin discovered on the Galapagos Islands. One of those ones that are like just doomed through generations of inbreeding with each other. This guy wants to fight Hassan. In what? Fight him in what? Like a Star Wars like VR lightsaber battle? Like beat sticks on VR?
Find a way. Find some snarky comment. I don't want $1 million because fuck that guy. He's a Nazi. I don't want his money. Fuck that guy.
Sam Hyde was challenging Hassan to a fight under the condition that if Hassan won, then $1 million would be donated to a charity. An unlikely happening because as per IDubbbz's video...
Why does this guy look like the nerdy friend in like an animated high school group? Like a movie about a high school group that's animated, and then he like grew up and now he's in his 30s. Like he's like the nerdy friend that didn't get the girl, but he made it until the end of the movie. And now he's just like a 30-year-old guy who's still like, that's the peak moment in his life.
On Hassan and other sources, he is possibly a Nazi, and not someone Hassan would promote by fighting them. And so Hassan, not banned on YouTube through the H3H3 podcast, did episodes focusing on this recent controversy. One was where they filmed in a bathtub full of crackers, and the other one was where they made a tier of racial slurs and the like that are used against white people. Now entering 2022, things moved on quickly to the React drama that was going on throughout Twitch. This was pushback to how some streamers may react to a video, rip the thumbnail of said video, and compete with it directly on sites like YouTube. In the case of Hasan, this is a bit different in that he does not enforce his copyright. He allows any viewer to rip and re-upload his content without compensation, so long as
Okay, what is this? Critiques and being trolled. Do I care enough to watch this? All right, let's watch it a little bit more.
Do get things wrong. Like the greatest example of this is the invasion of Ukraine. I was incredibly confident that Russia would not invade Ukraine because of all of the reasons why that invasion is going south right now. I demonstrated a level of confidence that I should not have. When you deviate away from that and you get something wrong, people that want to be right will never let you forget that and will constantly harp on it.
Hasan makes the point that people will judge someone based on their previous poor reporting. But this is also an encouragement to not get stories wrong and to not be overconfident when there's still not the entire picture, or when sources, even from those not preferred, do make fair arguments with the facts they have uncovered. But that's okay because according to Hasan, he was immune to criticism now.
The criticism that was thrown in my face has been consistent throughout my career. I'm an idiot, I'm a dumb bimbo, I don't know what I'm talking about. I've gotten numb to the criticism, like it's not. As a matter of fact, I seek it out now because I make content out of it.
Hasan is B. I like Hasan a lot. I like Hasan a lot. He doesn't play a lot of games, so it cuts his versatility a little bit.
Quote, XQC probably ranked me a B-list streamer because I won't fucking have him on when a trendy political thing is happening, where he has to act like he cares to farm the last ounce of the Twitch directory before he goes back to promoting crypto gambling to teens for multiple millions. Unquote. Hasan was not very pleased with how XQC had rated him. XQC was confused at Hasan.
Bro, are you trying to make like an entire drama about XQC rating him a B? Is this an actual thing? Or was it the one tweet and that's the end of it?
Brother, he was lower last year.
Fellow streamer for friend.
It's not even the fucking B tier thing. That's just the straw that broke the camel's back because like it's irrelevant. Like I've fucking tier listed people all the time. I've done it before.
As per an immature upload of Hasan on Discord, quote, I'm sorry you got like a 70 million stake deal and no one.
Okay, so yeah, he's saying he's literally saying the whole ranking thing is irrelevant. Like, are you not going to talk about the actual criticisms that Hasan had against XQC? You're not going to talk about like the stake deal and the gambling in front of the fucking teenagers in XQC's audience, or XQC endorsing Donald Trump, basically.
A very specific goal in mind. And that goal has come to fruition largely because of Destiny, because of the help that he's given me. And also on top of Destiny, helping me personally, Destiny himself already doing exactly what I wanted to do.
You created him, I have to kill him.
There were at least two major updates on Sam Hyde's callout. One is that Hasan, through private contacts, made it clear he does not want to platform Sam Hyde, and two is that the amount of money went from 1 million to 2.5 million. And after Sam Hyde's most recent victory in the ring as his Irish Candyman persona, he made a callout that was impossible for Hasan to ignore.
You got anyone you want to call out in the heavyweight division?
What the fuck, dude? What the fuck is happening? This video is actually making a big deal about Sam Hyde, who is a self-professed Nazi. Like, he literally is like, oh, Hasan's probably not going to want to debate me because he's going to say I'm a Nazi. Okay, well, at least you're self-aware enough for that. He's actually making a video about this guy Sam Hyde calling out Hasan.
Oh, you know it, lad. You know that, Hassan Piker? I'm coming to kill you in Los Angeles at your house. Or in the ring? No, in real life. I'm going to stalk him and become obsessed with him. And where?
Wait, what? Oh my god, dude. Destiny literally made a video like laughing at Hasan for saying that Sam Hyde is threatening to kill him. This is the call out of Sam Hyde wanting to kill Hasan. What the Okay, I'm not gonna sidetrack and find it now, but he's like, oh yeah, on my stream Sam Hyde said something about wanting to kill Hasan, but Hasan's completely taking that out of context. But now it's like, no, he's literally saying he wants to kill Hasan at Hasan's house.
Makeup.
No, don't fucking hide. If you're a sub, you're not getting unbanned for that. I'm just letting you know. Look, dude, if you see a mentally ill Nazi, okay, on the internet, be like, I'm gonna kill Hasan Piker. Okay, I'm gonna come to his house and murder him. And you go, oh, this is some information that he should probably watch. Like he should watch and address this. Okay, then honestly.
Okay, I'm sorry. I need to find this Destiny YouTube, just because it was so weird. What's his main channel? Destiny 2? No, not. No, that's. Oh shit! All right, here we go. I thought Destiny was taking a break from streaming. Saying something with Hasan. XQC's girlfriend, bunch of NX. Hassan versus XQC a month ago. Dissolution, insane. Centrist challenges Destiny to prove Sam Hyde's a neo-Nazi and instantly regrets it. Oh, Jesus. So he's still defending Sam Hyde. Alright, well, whatever. I'm not gonna, like, look for it that much, but it's... And Destiny is definitely obsessed with Hassan still. Okay, let's just finish this segment and then
just
go to the outro and call it.
The fight would not come, but the reminders would not stop.
I have another question. I think Sam Hyde, he called you out on like a boxing event. Yeah, are you interested in like the boxing scene? Or no, I don't know why you guys are so into this shit. He's a Nazi. Like, I don't know.
What's happening right now?
It's so whack, bro. Like, I don't understand why all you motherfuckers have to like run around with this shit.
What's going on? What's going on?
Nothing. Get the fuck out of my face, bro. You fucking asshole. Yeah, what do you mean, damn, bro? What the fuck do you mean, damn? What do you mean, damn? What the fuck do you mean, damn? Why do you do this? I'm asking questions. I don't know. Get the fuck out of here.
Some of the top comments on this video read, quote, so he wants to fight a random guy over a question, but won't fight Sam Hyde. He's so tough when it's a smaller guy talking to him.
What? Dude, he's literally not trying to fight him. Okay. So this guy's literally just egging on Hassan to fight this guy Sam Hyde. All right.
Dude is throwing a full-blown tantrum over being asked a simple question. Unquote. While Hassan has stated his want to not platform Sam Hyde, his overt aggression over what appears to be a genuine question from someone who is unaware of Hassan's stances was not an excellent look. But even using a different
his overt aggression, saying get the fuck out of here, that's overt aggression now. Compared to a guy that is a self-professed neo-Nazi saying that I'm gonna go to Hassan's house and murder him. And Hassan is displaying overt aggression, which is not a good look according to this guy, June. Dude, this guy is a fucking loser. I'm sorry. This guy's a fucking loser. He is the most blandest of criticisms. Oh, him saying, like, him responding to someone harassing him to fight a Nazi in the boxing ring is, that was a little bit aggressive and not the best look. Dude, go shut the fuck up. Jesus Christ. We need to have a program that makes people work in the fields to replace all of these immigrants that Donald Trump is deporting. I seriously think we need like a 2-year program after high school or after college where you're like, or maybe if you don't go to college, you're like working in the fucking fields for 2 years and you're gonna not get paid shit, but you're gonna have like government assistance. This guy fucking June the King needs to be working in the fields right now because this YouTube shit is just making the world a worse place.
Strategy, such as silence, would hardly work in Hassan's favor, as was shown in the next public encounter.
What's going on? How you guys doing? We love landlords. We're all against unions. We're here to protest against the landlords and the unions. We love them. Can we do like a quick shake on the hand? We love landlords. Look. We love landlords. We love landlords. We love them a lot. We're all against unions. They're not fair to the corporate companies. This is a crazy protest.
A troll that has done something similar at events such as the Game Awards, and now with Hassan at a writer's strike.
Anyway, as I was saying,
we love them a lot.
We're waiting for
the landlords to come.
Oh, there you are. Thank you. Yeah, I'll connect. This little fucking fetus, bro. I swear to God. So sick.
This is who Hassan was in 2023. A creator that can be quick to anger, but it is also that passion behind him that some seek. Yet he knows well enough.
What the fuck is he talking about? He literally didn't say shit to that kid and just ignored him. And the guy's like, this is who Hassan was 2 years ago. A creator that was quick to anger and is ignoring any kind of legitimate criticism against him. Dude, this guy's such a fucking loser. I can't take it. I can't take it.
3. A creator that can be quick to anger, but it is also that passion behind him that some seek. Yet he knows well enough, at least for the most part, when to be calm. Like his conversation with Andrew Tate, where the passive insults had Tate so uncomfortable and unable to retort that...
Okay, this guy's saying nothing. I'm sorry, this guy, I'm done. I can't take this video anymore. What are these comments? Bruh, this is gonna be a banger when Hassan plays this on stream while he's in a... Did he even talk about that? Did he even talk about him leaving in another room? I'm not going over the Willie Mac show to Fallout, and I'm not going over Twitch Apocalypse, because both of those are nothing burgers. Hassan's chair is going to love this video. Hassan, everything you did on this video is untrue. No, it's not untrue. It's just that nothing has any substance to it. It's literally just him showing a clip and being like, some people like the way that Hassan talks about things, but then other people don't like the way he talks about things. Wow, thanks. Thanks. Take my money. Take my fucking money, dude. Thank you, June. All right, I'm gonna join this guy's fucking Discord. I hate this person. Oh, well, hold on. What did he get? What did he have a sponsorship for? Aura.com. Okay. See if any of your data has been exposed. Hassan's fans can't seem to understand that people can dislike Hassan without being a Destiny fan. Can't wait for Hasan to turn this into a 6-hour stream. I mean, it's funny with these people talking about how Hassan's going to spend a lot of time on this when the guy was as verbose as humanly possible. A real job won't suck the soul out of you is the most disconnected thing I've ever heard. Atri giving his speech about how he isn't going to stop being friends with Hasan because of the war, only for them to immediately do that, is still hilarious to me. The larger streamer is in fact Casio. I still think Mahler's video on him, where it's just footage of his empty chair sped up for hours, is the funniest video on Hasan. But this is looking to... Okay, these guys are actually fucking brain dead. Yeah, so he just does like drama slop, like extremely lazy compilations. I mean, I guess to be fair, how many videos has he made? 5 days ago, a month ago, 2 months ago, 2 months ago. Yeah, so not the best. Anyway, Jesus. Kind of ended off on a sour note. This was funny. Despite nearly starving the hostages, Hamas used special techniques to make them look healthier and more energetic. I mean, it's just so funny, right? We can end it on that, but holy crap. We'll see about the content nuke, but I thought that June the King thing was going to be some kind of like preview to that, and it was just like the Willie Mac video was better than the June the King video. I can't believe I'm saying that, because that Willie Mac video was horrible. Like, I only got through like 30% of it. But anyway, guys, I'm going to call it here. Thanks for tuning in to the stream. I'm going to be trying to stream more consistently since we have so much to talk about with like the Trump presidency and all of that stuff. And I'm going to be trying to like reach out to more people. I'm going to be trying to do some stuff with some other content creators. I've been talking to the Do Not Worry podcast. They seem pretty chill. I've been talking to Comrade Casey. Hopefully I can like hang out with him, because we're actually like pretty close geographically. And then, yeah, just reaching out to other content creators. So yeah, thanks for your support. Let's get this channel big so I can talk to other people too, because that's the most fun part of this for me. Streaming with you guys. I really have a lot of fun streaming with you guys and also talking to other people. So please like, comment, subscribe, share my videos, just so we can get more views on this channel and open up more doors. And let's keep growing this thing. Thanks for stopping by, and hopefully you have a great rest of your evening. See ya.